So Leah, what are the odds that we're gonna fight Jar Jar Binks somewhere in the cosmos?
I heard that guy eats children.
Depends on where you go. On the set. On the fucking set.
Yeah,
Like wild shit.
Chat, did you know that George Lucas hired an actual alien to be on the Phantom Menace? And it ate a child on set.
And no one did anything.
Nobody did anything. Worse,
they let that guy be in the sequel.
Shit. They just let it happen.
They just let it happen because Jar Jar Binks had that much money. Fucking George Lucas tried to make it up to the parents by like inviting them to the Phantom Menace like premiere, but Jar Jar Binks was there too. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, George?
Yeah, George. What the fuck, George?
Yeah, George. You fucking asshole.
That George.
Totally have control over the Star Wars universe now, George.
If that is your real name, which it probably is.
Only Star Wars fans can hate this much on Star Wars.
It's true.
And then he ate the other kids, so that was just it was just a PR nightmare. That's why nobody saw the kid who played Anakin Skywalker afterwards. That's why he disappeared.
And they still managed to sweep it under the rug. You believe that?
Yep. It's crazy.
Fucking wild.
Well, other than that, welcome.
Hi, chat.
Welcome to the very first session, asterisk. We did have a session 0, but
yeah.
This is the first in earnest session of Kazador's Guide to the Cosmos, a fantastic new campaign brought together by our wonderful DM, Amusing Thalia.
Hello. This is Leah. She's the best.
It's very kind of you to say.
Yeah.
I'll fight you.
I'm here to run a game and have fun with my friends. These are all very good friends of mine, and I have been chatting with, writing stories with, and playing with these people for some time now, and I am honestly just happy to be here to tell stories with my friends.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of friends, Connor, who are we?
We're gonna find out as we go down the horn and introduce ourselves one by one. Starting with XanillisGrimm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm so used to being X, so I'm last. Now I'm first. Ugh. Alright. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/XanillisGrimm. Almost immediately after this, going to be doing some more Helldivers. We're fighting for Super Earth. Going to keep it going best we can. You can catch me tomorrow over at twitch.tv/unexpectables at 6 p.m. PST for some more, Gateway. And then Sunday, you can catch me over at twitch.tv/burnoutbon at around 2 p.m. PST for some more Those Who Wander. Monday, assuming Monty is feeling better, it seems like she's on the mend. We'll have some more Stalwart Souls at 7 p.m. PST over back on my channel. Tuesday, right back here, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 1 p.m. PST for some more Vecna Eve Ruin. And then Thursdays, twitch.tv/MontyGlue, 6 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. PST for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I've got a lot of TTRPGs going on. I'm sure you'll find me somewhere at some time, but if you want the exact specifics, you can follow me over on Blue Sky at XanillisGrimm. And that is me.
Damn it! Damn it!
Stolen. Bit destroyed.
Oh, my fucking bit. Out from under me.
Damn.
Also, we don't have to worry about swearing in the first 5 minutes because YouTube's not paying me anyway. So, fuck them.
Hell yeah. I was trying to be a good boy.
I couldn't. I swear like a fucking sailor.
I hear ya.
Penis.
Don't worry. So does...
Speaking
so
of
does
penis, TheropodArt, where can they find you? What are you up to?
Cock, member, balls.
But
Pharaoh has destroyed so many like openings.
You went to member?
like instantly, like fucking instantly.
No, wait, we have to have a Thero muzzle whenever he's on Unexpectables.
Why'd you go straight to member?
No shaft? Oh man, that's a good one. Anyway,
What the hell, my guy?
Hi everybody. Hi, it's your boy, general nuisance to everybody around him, TheropodArt. Y'all know where to find me. Fur Affinity, Blue Sky, Twitch, all TheropodArt. Lizard Fun Bags if you want to see the naughty stuff. No, he'd like the muzzle? Hey now, what I do in the bedroom is my own business. Speaking of bedroom stuff, hey, commissions are open. I'll draw. I'll draw whatever you
almost.
I will draw almost whatever you sick fucks want for the right amount of cash. I'll do it. I also got a subathon going on right now. I'm playing Dead Space 3 Master. It's really scary, and I'm a baby bitch boy. I have the spine of a wet noodle, so the game is scary. But I'm really enjoying it. Dead Space is a cool game. It's really fun. Other than
you're enjoying it.
It's fun. That Isaac Clarke guy, he's got some issues. But other than that, you can catch me over same channel that you're on right now on Tuesdays for Eve of Ruin. That's what I got going on.
Excellent. And now we have a relatively new player to our sort of little circle here. We have one, Saris. Where can they find you, and what are you up to?
You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl, although usually I'm on other people's streams. For example, you find me here doing this thing. You can find me this Saturday at Burnout Vaughn's channel. We're doing some more No Love War Extra. We are back at it again at the Krispy Kreme, solving crime and figuring out whether or not a suicide is actually a suicide or if it's actually murder. Then you can also find us at Burnout Vaughn's channel this Sunday for another episode of Those Who Wander. If you're a fan of the Domains of Dread, you like some gothic horror, but you want to do something a little different, maybe not Curse of Strahd, come on, join us at 5:30 Eastern or 2:30 Pacific Standard Time for that. We are, instead of in Barovia, we are in Carticus, and plot's picking up fast. Two of the other players here will also be in that campaign. You should come and check it out. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, you can also catch me on Skeleton Alpha's channel on Monday, where we're returning to New Home, which is an off fan game. If you like RPGs and you like some weird, not dystopian horror, I guess is a good way to put it, because it's off and it's weird, and you're here for a scrunkly cat afternoon, come join us on Monday. But yeah, that's about all I'm doing this week. Busy week.
Excellent. Looking forward to playing with you. And last but certainly not least, our DM extraordinaire, the Muse, Amusing Thalia. Where?
Hello. I kind of like awkwardly flubbed my intro at the beginning because I was just like so excited to be here with my friends. But I am Amusing Thalia. I have my own stream at Amusing Thalia. I only really do streams on Mondays and Tuesdays for now, at least. And Mondays I do kind of a rotating TTRPG thing where we do lots of TTRPG and TTRPG adjacent things, kind of trying anything that isn't D&D. We aren't at the point where we're taking suggestions because we have a whole backlog we're working through, but I do that with friend of the channel, Key Inc., Ray, and another friend of the channel, Aqua Sylph on on everywhere. You can find me using Thalia at Blue Sky, and other than my Tuesday streams where it's usually just like a hard game of some kind, Hades, Helldivers, probably a Souls game at some point. Other than that, I will be around floating on other people's streams, and I am playing in Saris's game on Sunday in the Realms of Dread. And yeah, that's me for now. I'm here a lot, bugging Connor and backseat gaming, and mostly lore dumping. Honestly, that's what I spend like 90% of my time doing, is just lore dumping.
It's just a gentle loop of the final boss of Elden Ring bending me over his knee, and Leah gently explaining why this is so loreful.
It's not wrong. That Thursdays, by the way. But yeah, other than that, I'm ready to go whenever you all are.
Well, Connor, where can they find you? What are you up to?
Oh, I forgot. Here's the thing, Connor.
Huh?
I don't know if anyone knows yet. You're playing a sorcerer, are you not?
That is correct.
And if one were to have the abilities of a sorcerer, what would one might conceivably be able to do if one were to also have the luscious beard of a wizened mage?
You know what? Let me tell you something. Since the dawn of time, in time immemorial, the forces of the cosmos work in mysterious ways. I was born with the magic flowing in my veins. That's right, I am a beard sorcerer.
Whoa!
It's sorcery! That's right, beard sorcery for all of your beard care needs, be it beard balms, beard oils, hygiene care products, combs, clippers, whatever you may want. It's available over at beardsorcery.com. I personally use a bunch of beard sorcery products in my day-to-day beard care, and if you've seen a picture of me, you know that it pays dividends. So if you've got a beard and you want to take care of it, and you also appreciate fun fantasy themes, then head over to beardsorcery.com. Use code DistortionDevil to save 10% when you shop at beardsorcery.com. As well, if you need a little pick-me-up like I did, because I woke up like an hour ago.
Damn, you woke up like this?
I sure did. The first thing I did was I walked up to my fridge and I grabbed myself a nice cold can of cold brew Bones Coffee. That's right, Bones Coffee Company is also an affiliate of this channel, and if you want to grab some delicious coffee of yourself, head over to bonescoffee.com. Use code DistortionDevil to save 10% on your order.
No bones about it.
No bones about
coffee.
it.
Bones.
Bones. And as always, we couldn't do this week in, week out without bits and subs from viewers like you.
Richard Sharps.
I cannot hear that without like thinking of like the PBS voice.
Bits
And I say, hey, what a wonderful bit today. You learned to
without
sub and
viewers
play
like you.
and donate to each other.
I got you. I was a sickly child as well and had to stay home and watch PBS.
Hey, don't at me.
Yeah, my teachers were also negligent.
Damn.
The Common Hero, thank you for the 43 months. I like dragons.
I also went to public school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I understand. Shaking your hand.
Ask me about my big fat Greek wedding sometime. I'll tell you a story.
Same.
Oh dear.
Oh, right. Anyway, The Common Zero, thank you for the 43 months. I like dragons. Dungeons are pretty cool too, but man, dragons, am I right?
Not wrong. Dragons, hot. Every story is better with a dragon. And if everyone is ready to go.
We're not done quite yet.
Oh!
One Sway Girl, thank you for the 30 months. Glad to catch this live. I recently started Yakuza 0, and I completely blame you. You should. I deserve that praise, because Yakuza 0 is fucking awesome. Corn Solus, thank you for the 10 bits. This should be a fun space adventure. Almost been a year of doing weight loss, and as of today, I'm down 70 plus pounds. Oh, wow.
Woo! Good
nice
shit,
work,
homie.
Corin.
Congrats.
Very well done.
If you feel better about yourself, then it is worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell yeah. More Thrandor, thank you for gifting 5 subs to the community. Miss Tweetums, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Tixdixl. And
Thank
finally,
you.
we have Faye Raven, thank you for the 100 bits. You all have a good time. I'm headed to work, and already subjected Connor and Zan to my joke, but here are 3 more.
Oh no.
Sorry, the
Yes.
dice told me to do it. Have you guys heard about the guy who had to keep his dog's ashes in a pewter mug? For a while, he had a Wolfenstein. I'll show you guys.
Fair Raven, keep them coming.
-2.
+3.
All right. Well, with that, I think I am at least ready.
I am
Now we-
ready.
I could not be more ready.
Well,
Let's go.
thank you. If you'll forgive my initial eagerness. And everyone is ready to go. And speaking of dragon, to offer an introduction to those tuning in for the first time, and for our hero to pick back up on their story, we watch. But before any of that happens, our view is nothing. Empty void. Darkness. Nothingness. It has been said in story and legend, tales, myths, philosophy, that if one were to stare into the abyss, that it would gaze back into them. But in truth, in practice, and for those who have done it, they know that there is nothing to look back. And that nothing should be feared. An explosion of color, the phlogiston, the building of the world tree, the astral cosmos spreads out from nothing. And in the center of it all, a plane is made. Our plane, the plane we start this story on. One of many, as the world tree extends impossibly high. Its roots reaching impossibly low and wide. As planes, universes, mirrored reflections of each other, endless stories are told. But ours is here. And on the plane of Faerun, we pick back up with our heroes. Kazador Rain, the Hobgoblin Sorcerer of the Kasigi Empire, and Chosen of the White Worm. and Hakka, the sorrel cleric of the Saurian Empire, and great and powerful speaker of the ancestors. We watch as our heroes are aboard a ship, an astral ship, a nautiloid, a vessel to sail the cosmos. Its curved, living shell, smooth, plated, with tentacles reaching out, pulling through the air, commandeered from a violent illithid after saving allies of theirs from the past. Flying alongside them, the ancient white worm of Icewind Dale herself, Arveatris. As we watch our heroes land amongst their home, the Kasigi and Sorrel empires meeting in the middle at an oasis within the jungles of Chult. A celebration is held as we pan over our heroes, enjoying food and drink and camaraderie with those around them. A brief conversation is held between Kazador and a hooded individual revealed to be related to the Harpers. Our hero Hakka speaks with loved ones and makes a fervent promise to find their son's lover and return them to him. And praying at a temple, being gifted an artifact of their people, a symbol of their status within the ranks of the ancestors. But our calm, peaceful, celebratory time is short-lived as screams pierce the sky. Dragons with riders, pale green to yellow skin, curved silver blades and armor, riding atop the red worms of Tiamat, descend upon the celebrations. Our heroes jump into action, Hakka channeling the power of his ancestors, and our powerful sorceress abilities shown in Kazador, able to swiftly deal magically with multiple individuals of the raiders. And as they board their ship, trying to lead these attackers away from their people, we see them fly up into the sky. Arveatris, who had been resting in the waters, pulls herself out, and two of the red worms that were on the ground, held by the magics of Hakka's ancestors, kind of struggle to get up and then are quickly pinned down again as the great worm herself descends on them in a fury. We watch as some of the Gith who are left on the ground to defend themselves quickly find themselves outnumbered by the combined powers of the Kasigi and Sorrel empires. And we pan upwards, following our heroes, with 3 dragons still chasing them. And we flash inside the ship as Kazador is activating magics that he is studied, but is unpracticed with. We watch as Hakka fights with a Gith individual who exits some sort of navigation room. And as as Kazador activates a plane warping ability and they escape the clutches of these red dragons, we pull into the portal. And quickly, our view is no longer following that of our heroes that we have seen previously. But instead, we are brought to an empty section of the astral sea, of the cosmos. Nothing is quite near, but in the sky and in the stars beyond, there's the kind of twinkling of lights and the swirling of galaxies. And this piece is interrupted by the sound of an explosion. And we pan downwards as we see a nautiloid. And for a second, it looks like the nautiloid of our heroes, but it's larger, colors different, and an explosion erupts out of the side of one of the shells. The camera kind of pans in through the explosion as we see two individuals fighting in some sort of engine room with several illithid-controlled individuals, gate husks and/or tadpoled creatures, mindless zombies that have been turned into puppets of the squid masters who are fighting to defend this ship to their last. And as we pan in on these two individuals, we're going to start with Xoruk. Describe, after you have just, and you can describe how this happens, you've just, being a master at doing this, taken out this engine room, either through whatever way you think would fit, either like activating it technologically or destroying the right sections, and then are kind of like turning to engage in battle. Tell me what we see and what's going on.
You want me to describe the character too, or?
Yeah, describe the character and then like what they're doing and what's happening.
Xoruk is a masculine and tall, kind of emaciated looking humanoid known as a Gith, but obviously has a very honed musculature and is very martially practiced, I'd say. He has kind of yellowish and brown skin, covers most of his body from head to toe with these kind of splotches. His face is long, angular, with deep-setted eyes, flattened nose, and long, pointed ears. He has dark, russet hair that's braided above him with the sides shaved, and carefully upkept sideburns. He wears a sort of glimmering breastplate and sandals with a circlet, and holds a number of daggers on his body, but in his hands are two very specific daggers designed and honed to his own mind as he kind of carves through some of the Illithid's hosts, making way and creating an opening for his companion to try and activate the controls or get further into the engine room.
And as we see a flash of blades and multiple bodies cut down, you kind of flick them expertly as the blood sprays off in arcs, and kind of flourish the steel. Coming from behind in a flash, we see, describe Vex for me and what they're doing.
You see before you a very tall, lanky individual standing at 6'4", fully plated, cloaked, and with a battle skirt, with rose motifs and carded suits. They stand at the ready with a giant hammer in hand and a shield in the other. Their hair, long and ashen, is mostly tied up to get out of the way of a helm that sits over their face, almost completely covering it. Out from that helm sticks out two porcelain-looking horns. The armor heavily covers what little bit peeks out of pinkish tiefling skin.
And how are they going through the room, and what are they doing?
So, just for my understanding, we're like knee deep in aggression here. Are we?
Yeah, you guys are like in the middle of taking on an Illithid ship.
Yeah. Okay.
I will give a little bit more context after this like scene specifically, but at the moment you are in an engine room and you are kind of wading through enemies, finishing destroying this specific engine.
And for a little bit for me, how many am I surrounded by? Is it just kind of a free for all in this sense, or
I have actual like mechanics for horde stats.
Mm-hmm.
So what is before you is a horde. If you'd like to assess the number, you can use a bonus action to assess aspects of the horde.
Okay.
If you'd like to use an action, it would be different, but this is kind of nebulous right now, so we'll keep it a little, so we can keep it a little like loosey-goosey.
Sure. If we're talking a horde, instead of doing a bonus action to assess the situation, I'm actually going to use a bonus action to activate my form of dread.
Yeah. And what does that look like?
Oh my gosh. Immediately from underneath the armor, black, like, blotted ink starts to spill out from underneath as this literal, like, shrouded cloud of just almost like a liquid haze, or like, again, this sort of like this extremely inky ooze-like substance just seems to like waft nebulously around them. It almost looks surreal, as if they somehow seem to, though uncertain how, grow slightly taller and slightly longer and slightly bonier, as they're just this very, very disgusting, very like ominous stature just seems to almost supernaturally take form.
The horde in front of you kind of like raises hands up. This has a fear effect, correct?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So
they raise up hands and kind of like hordes automatically fail effects from abilities.
Amazing.
So they just kind of raise up their arms like, and like don't pull near you. You have this moment where you just show this horror to them, and something primal, even within an Illithid, at the back of their brain says, "Don't go near." As like they kind of like pull and shy away, as if like light cutting through darkness.
And then, if I still have an action?
Sure, go ahead.
I think it would be really funny. I think it would be great to just slide up there and with my big hammer just kind of like what you'd expect out of like a very, very action-packed like sideward crack to whatever's closest to me, as many as I can. Just
yeah. So the way hordes work is there's actually a damage threshold. So if you do like if you do 2 times the damage threshold, you get rid of 2 of them in a single thing. So
okay, cool. Good
and
to know.
Let's see how much damage you want to do.
So then shall I roll this?
Yep, go ahead. It's an attack roll,
success?
Yeah. It is an attack roll. Missing, you do half damage.
Okay.
So that is a miss. You still do half damage though.
Okay.
Because it is a horde.
Yeah. Amazing.
All right. So that's 22. That's 11. So the damage threshold on these are 5. They're just like a very weak, sort of like low, kind of mob enemy. They don't have armor or anything. They're just like husks of bodies that once were. So you actually still, even though you miss, you swing through 2 of them with a single. Like even though like it's not like the best swing ever, they're all like shying and pulling away from you. You swing and you like cleave through 2 of them.
Amazing. Fantastic.
And as you were kind of making your way through on that side, we're going to kind of flash back across the room as you're going one way, going the other way. Xoruk, what are you up to?
Xoruk is continually trying to carve a path kind of forward, is going to be looking for any of the illithids proper, knowing that if he can sever a strong psychic bond to them, they will be more subjective to lay down their arms.
Are you more focused on carving through enemies, or are you more focused on potentially finding a illithid master?
He's specifically looking for an illithid master.
All right, roll me either a perception or an investigation check, or a check that you think would be more appropriate of your choosing.
Okay. Let me see what we got here. I think... yeah, I'll go with perception. That makes more sense here. 23.
23. You see that they're all actually crowding around a back room. Like, they're still, like, attacking you, but you notice that there's kind of, like, a pattern to the way that they're moving. And there's, like, they're always keeping a group of them sort of grouped up, and you notice that they're not really moving. They're kind of lolling in front of, and this is what they are. I will use this word a lot. Deal with it. A sphincter door.
Yeah, there's no other better way to describe that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep, and behind them is like one of those sphincter doors, and so you see that, and that's kind of what they're guarding, and they're like hoping it sort of blends in, but you absolutely notice that.
All right,
Xoruk, since you didn't do it with advantage, that means it was just a bonus action, so you still have an action.
For an action, he's going to cast Jump on himself and leap over them to try and get towards this door.
All right, roll an attack roll as well.
All right. 21 to hit.
All right, 21. You cast Jump as this like magical sort of almost like reverse telekinesis goes over your legs, and you leap. And midway through the air, you actually slice through the sphincter door's like top membrane, and do kind of a nosedive through. And you have made your way into what looks like, and this is a like larger, older, complicated nautiloid that you're dealing with right now. This one, it's had like several different like odd chambers in it and that kind of stuff you've seen before, but are like relatively uncommon in nautiloids. And as you like go into this room, it seems like it's some sort of like auxiliary cockpit, like emergency cockpit, as you see like one of the like tentacle control stations, and an illithid kind of whips around, kind of surprised to see you there, and it tries to psychically like connect with your mind, but you having like practice with that kind of rebuff the telekinetic like or telepathic like communication attempt with you, and the two of you kind of stand off as its tentacles kind of writhe, and it raises its hands, kind of lifts off the floor a little bit, ready to defend itself. I'm going to flash back to Vex really quickly, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Vex.
Are we still fighting a horde?
Yeah, you're still in. You just saw Xoruk do that, kind of like, defend themselves for a second, and then do like a jump, dive, cleave, and has gone into the next room, and you're left with the entire horde.
Okay. Choices. Let's see here. I think, and are at this point, are they just sort of like cowering at my, like, is it a situation where they're just trying to get away at this point? Anything that's
so the group that you were fighting initially, they're kind of cowering away from you.
Okay.
However, the group that Xoruk was fighting, they didn't like see that initial effect, and they're beginning to rush towards you in a mob.
Okay, cool. That clears that up at the very least. All right, we're gonna take care of some. We're gonna take care of some dudes here then. All right. Let's see here. I think what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna start with. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a good old fashioned another smack, smacky smack,
Love me another smack,
but with flavor.
Oh, with flavor.
Yeah.
Give him the stick.
Tasty flavor.
Let's see. Starting with a solid hit, we hitting? No, we're not, but that's okay. So, here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the nature of it being horde and not standard, would you permit me a good old-fashioned bonus action smite, or will we not consider that valid in this case?
What do you mean bonus action smite? Like, as in, let you cast it before the hit goes off?
Well, so if I understand correctly, right, you can't, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can't cast it unless you hit.
So here's how. So here's how smite works. If you cast the smite spell, it uses a bonus action, and you're concentrating on it until you hit. If you are just attacking, when you hit, in quotes, like when you deal damage with an attack, is how I'm going to run it. When you deal damage with an attack, you may spend a spell slot to smite. So, if you wanted to cast a bonus action spell before attacking, I will still allow you to do that because you're still learning the character. But if you just meant to spend a spell slot to deal damage on a hit, I will allow it because you are still making contact.
Yeah, that's what I guess that's
you
what
don't
I
have to use don't have to use a bonus action for it. Is the thing.
Oh, okay. That helps clarify. Yeah, because
unless you're using the spell, you don't have to use a bonus action.
Okay, then yeah, I'd like to use up a first level spell slot to add an additional 2d8.
Wonderful, lovely. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do that. Give me just a second. I believe in this case, I should just do the 1d8. Like, sorry, I'm still learning.
I mean, you can. All right, so there is a little bar on the side that has the dice section on it, and it'll have the d4, d6, d8, d10, d12, d20, etc. And then it'll have, if you just click on it, it'll roll 1, but there's the numbers off to the side, like in a chart. If you click on the 2, it'll roll 2 of that dice. 3.
Oh,
3,
there it is. I see what you're talking about. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's okay. Take your time.
It's a very helpful thing to learn, and we are still learning these characters.
Yeah. There we go.
5. All right, so that is 21 plus 5, 26 halved to 13. So with the additional damage, so the way that leftover damage works is if you deal any leftover damage, I mark a wound, and if a creature takes 2 wounds, one of them drops. So the leftover damage from before, which is 1 wound, and the leftover damage from this one, because of the smite, that's 1 additional one, plus 20 reduced to 10 with a threshold of 5. That's 2 additional ones. So this group comes towards you. And what does your smite look like? Is it like a holy glow? Is it an unholy glow? What does it look like?
So in this specific case, it is technically a holy glow. And for a little bit of flavor text, because of the specific type of paladin that they are, I feel like the sort of radiance is a bit more dull, but it feels a bit more, shall we say, like it almost has like a green hue to it.
Yeah, so this kind of like almost green goldy sort of color. Yeah, this sort of like pale green gold color, very, very in contrast to the sort of like inky ichor that is like that came out of the initial visage. This has some almost like a sort of like natural glow to it.
Yes.
Like a mossy sort of glow to it. As you swing, and 3 in one go just cleave through them with a spray of purple blood.
Would you still permit me to use a bonus action to sort of get a gander of the situation? Or does that pass?
So no, that is fine. So the way that checks work in combat situations is if you want to use a bonus action to make any sort of investigation check on a creature or the situation in any way, perception, investigation, survival, whatever you feel, arcana maybe, whatever you feel would be appropriate, it is a bonus action to do that. Just straight roll. You can use an action to get advantage on it if you want to like really focus.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for clarifying that. So, since I didn't use my bonus action earlier, I'm going to use my bonus action, and I will ask if this is going to be perception or survival, because what I'm basically trying to get an assessment of is whether or not this is a situation that I think that I can take, or if I need to be following Xoruk and heading out.
Insight is what that is.
Okay, I can do insight for you.
Insight?
14.
14. This is just a horde. The ones behind you are still you, and you've dealt with much scarier things than this. There's no Illithid Master in there, or in here. You assume, knowing your companion's skill set, that is what they are going after, and he's made his way into that room for that reason, trusting that you can deal with this.
Okay, so if I have the understanding that he's trusting me to be able to take this horde out, we're gonna stay put.
All right, you got it. The horde is going to descend upon you, and we get to deal with horde, and I get to really quickly cover horde mechanics. Horde mechanics, damage-wise, is they deal damage for the number of them that are left around you that can attack. The ones that are feared, they're cowering away, but the ones that just rush up, so there were 9 originally, you took out 3. They have a damage set, so it's how many are left, which is 6, times their damage set. Their damage set was 3, so 9 times 3 would have been 27 damage coming at you. That damage gets reduced by your armor class. Because it's only 6, because you cleaved through them, it is going to be 6 times 3, which is 18. What's your armor?
Currently with my shield up, that's 20.
20. So they descend upon you, but with armor, shield, your expertise, and with you cleaving through 3 of them right out the bat, you're actually able to fend them off. And I now consider that horde moot. Next turn, you can just deal with them.
Okay.
Because they can no longer damage you.
Sounds good.
So over the next 2 turns, Vex will just cleave through these 2 hordes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to come into the other room with Xoruk. Xoruk, you diving in here, that one was surprised when it turned around. And it's lifting off the floor to defend itself is a natural response. You recognize that. This thing is still off guard, and you have the jump on it. What do you do?
We are going to... Zorik's going to run at the creature low. Not saying anything, but just focusing in at the rear of the spine where it connects to the neck to the head, and is going to try and stab with each dagger to sever it in 2 different pieces, 2 different places. You
got it. Roll some damage. Not some damage. We'll roll the attack first. We'll see, but probably you're gonna hit. And this counts as a first turn for you.
Okay, so roll with advantage. That is a 16 to hit.
16 just hits.
Okay.
This thing is, it's kind of off guard, and it only really has a thin piece of kind of chitin on its chest, acting like a breastplate.
All right. So it's going to be... We're going to have a lot of damage coming out here. Give me 1 second. So 10 plus 14 plus 5. So that is 29 damage on the first swing.
All right. Is any of that psychic damage?
Yes, the last 5. Oh, is it immune to psychic?
It is not immune, it is resistant.
God, the last 5 is psychic.
Yeah. And you're used to this. Most mind flayers are resistant to psychic damage.
Makes sense.
But nonetheless, so that is 24 plus 2, 26 points of damage on the first attack.
And second swing. 16 to hit again. Oh, I have advantage. Might as well just... Oh, it's going to be a crit no matter what, but might as well roll just to see.
Yeah, 16, 18 hit.
Okay. 13 plus 10. Oh, I don't get sneak attack. So 13 plus another 2. So 15 damage.
13 plus another 2. 15 damage. Alrighty.
And then we're going to bonus action attack again.
Yep.
With the other dagger. Oops, that's just damage. I'll roll to hit. 26 to hit.
Yeah.
For 15 plus 4, so 19 damage.
19 damage. Alrighty.
And then we're going to use Dread Ambush for the additional swing.
Go for it.
For 29 to hit.
That hits.
Good gravy.
For 12 plus 3, so 15 plus the Dread Ambusher 5, which is just extra piercing damage.
Yep.
Eat 'em.
So let me see.
Eat 'em.
So that's 12. 70 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8. Dealing 78 points of damage to its 71 HP. How do you just mark it?
All right, 1 dagger into the spine, kind of right above the shoulders. The second one's going to be more pierced directly square into the back of its, underneath its skull, kind of piercing downward to kill it in an instant, severing its spinal cord, and just kind of bringing it low in front of them.
It doesn't even have a moment to bring up its like telepathic or telekinetic defense. The blade hitting its spine before its electrical processes can actually fully respond to the situation. As it slumps to its, like, it goes full ragdoll, slumps to its knees and collapses to the floor in front of you. And out in the other room, you watch as all of the remaining hordlings kind of raise up their heads, and you just like 4 heads at once, just with the hammer just exploding.
Not making a show of it. Xoruk's gonna kind of clean or just like very quickly whip the blood off of the daggers, take a breath out, and lower his mental shielding away from that was protecting himself from the gake.
As you breathe, and you look around the room, you feel the nautiloid kind of lurch slightly as it no longer has something telepathically controlling it, and is starting to just drift haplessly in the astral sea. You walk towards the exit, which kind of, it struggles a little bit because of the cut you made, but opens up, and you see covered in viscera Vex in the other room, just kind of a little bit of dripping going on.
Looks like a job well done.
I take it you took care of the problem.
Aye. Wasn't a big no, though.
Damn shame.
We should take control of the helm just to be safe.
Right, I trust you to do that then.
Fair enough. And he will sheath his daggers, realizing there's no more threats, and move towards the crown of the ship.
All right, you move towards the crown of the ship. Are you intending to just like shut it down, etc.?
He's going to try and mentally connect with it and tell it just to rest, to keep it still.
Yeah, you tell it to rest, to keep it still. Something you've done a little bit. As the two of you have been doing this for a little bit now. Recently, Xoruk, through your connections with your various contacts in the various Gith communities, actually, you had been requisitioned basically as an assassin. There was recently a huge influx of Illithid within one of the prime material planes, and several of them actually. And ever since, both Githzerai and Githyanki have been, from what you've actually heard, reports of potentially working together in some cases to rout some of the Illithid. In addition, what some of these contacts have done is basically been sneaking aboard some of the Illithid ships that have been trying to escape and entering coordinates, sending you here. You've been equipped with a certain number of like psychic psionic depth charges, essentially, that can shut down a nautiloid temporarily, allowing you to get aboard the ship pretty quickly and easily. You were equipped with 6 of them initially. You have 3 left. So this is your 3rd that you've taken out between the 2 of you. As you 2 make your way aboard, after like shutting down in the crown, the 2 of you make your way onto the deck, and floating towards you, go ahead. I want you 2 to describe going out on the deck and communicating before something floats towards you.
Xoruk would kind of move towards the sphincter door and mentally kind of demand it open before placing a hand in the opening, kind of as almost a gentlemanly and practiced like opening for Vex to walk through out to the deck.
And Vex just follows very confidently, I guess, behind him. Also just kind of keeping an eye out to make sure that there's nothing that they didn't already expect, right, at this point. No weird stragglers, no one who's still left twitching and thinks that they might be able to resist.
Yeah, no, makes sense. The ship's been pretty quiet ever since shutting down the Illithid Masters. Most of the things that you've fought have been fully either like are like freshly born Illithid, which are still really like new to their powers and relatively weak, all things considered, as well as like a lot of intellect devourers and a lot of husks. Very few actual individuals have been aboard the ships, and a lot of them have unfortunately been brought down, not by you all, but by the Illithid in the almost using them as like mid-battle snacks in a lot of the combat. It has been kind of grueling battle, but as the 2 of you clean up your weapons, floating towards you, you see a large, well, not large, large in comparison to you all, but significantly smaller than the nautiloid, but a spelljammer. Unusual in that it doesn't have a top deck. It's actually an enclosed vessel, and it is in the like shape of a large, sort of vaguely reddish pink tardigrade, and its sort of legs are swimming through the air slightly, and it has the kind of like protruding barbed mouth on it. This thing has been super helpful for getting aboard the nautiloids, because after you shut them down, that front end of the ship can actually bore into other ships and allow you to invade, allow you to board other ships. And as the vessel kind of floats down, and that kind of the sort of sharp tooth entrance blast doors to this spelljammer kind of rest atop the dock before you, and one of those it is like the sphincter door in the sense that it does the circular opening, but it is more of an aperture actually, which is the other term. because it is made actually of metal. You've been aboard this vessel for a very brief period of time, Xoruk, and you've already been like somewhat amazed by it, as it is one of the most technologically advanced spelljammers you've ever been on. Whoever is maintaining this ship, whatever the engineer is, seems to be doing an impeccable job. And as the kind of aperture opens, kind of leaning in on the side, the captain of the vessel, the pilot of the vessel, a Gith pirate familiar to the two of you. She has kind of long, braided hair that's pulled back in a ponytail, sort of like loose traveler's attire, like spacer attire. And she also has, similar to Xoruk, some silver armor on. However, it's been like painted over black, as you see this character actually.
Oh, art.
Art. Oh.
This is done by a artist I've done a lot of work with at D Indie Blue Sky. Indie art, they are great. Commission them a ton. And she kind of leans in. So, how'd it go?
The ship is clear. What could you expect? Still no Ibignal.
She kind of rolls her eye. The other one doesn't always work right, as it sort of twitches slightly. And you know this, it kind of glows red. It seems to be a prosthetic of some kind. As her right eye kind of does that. But she rolls the other one. Right. Well, slippery as he is, eventually someone's got to catch up to him. We'll see if the next one is. I know that those contacts of yours, they've been trying to hunt him down. So
I am not.
Right.
I too. I am not above taking an easy paycheck, especially from an Istik. However, my friend Vex here, they prefer challenges rather than an easy work day.
Well, maybe the
That's
next
very
one will...
kind of you.
I hope the next one provides a better challenge then. I'm glad to see both of you are okay and not infected. And she kind of gestures to enter aboard the ship. And
I am uninjured.
Kind of looking towards Vex. I'm assuming Vex is also uninjured.
Vex is covered in ink, but there is the only... And I would assume Illithid blood doesn't look like standard humanoid blood, so the
It's
only
silver.
blood that's on them is like...
Yeah. It's silvery.
Yeah. So they're already silver armor, and their vibrant red battle skirt is like caked in this silvery disgusting filth, and Vex just kind of grins and, well, I would say uninjured is quite apt, really. More like Uno reverse, I think I've heard it said. Not really sure what that is, though.
Never heard of it.
At the very least, I need a moment to meditate. My dagger hand was a little sluggish towards the end of that melee. I need to focus on exactly what's causing it.
Well, feel free to rest aboard the ship. Just remember the usual deal. Engineer doesn't like disturbing.
I shall not disturb them.
And he will
Yeah,
nod
just
at the-
to join the ship.
nod at the captain and walk into the vessel.
And I have brought you to the vessel, map-wise.
Ooh.
What you see before you, it very technologically advanced as far as a spelljammer goes. What looks like mechanical creations or some sort of electrical devices almost. glass panes that sort of flicker with runes and numbers. Odd devices plugged into tubing that runs through the walls. You've seen stuff like this before, but only ever really in sigil in rare areas.
Xoruk's gonna kind of not run, but like kind of walk with purpose towards kind of near the center of the ship. Kind of find a corner, and I suppose I can just drag myself over. We're supposed to be this big, or?
Yeah, it should actually be to scale.
Xoruk's gonna kind of lean against this, or he's going to kind of sit cross-legged on the floor against this wall, and that way he can still hear if people are talking towards him or need anything. But he's gonna start meditating and reflect on the battle that he had just engaged in, and try to piece anything that he may have done wrong or things that he could do better.
Vex is going to follow in shortly behind, but the general energy is very, very different, as even with the helm on their head, there seems to be almost a sense of curiosity as they're going to sort of more or less explore the place, kind of see what, dare I say it, resources, if any, what exactly they had on the ship.
Yeah, it's been battle after battle. You haven't really gotten much time to kind of, explore the ship to much of an extent. You haven't even gotten a chance to, rest on it. You've just kind of gone in, yeah. It's been fight after fight. As the two of you get past the kind of cockpit area, the kind of first area, so you go past these two doors, a voice rings on over the, some sort of panels in the wall with, slats. Let me make sure I have everything. Hello, and welcome to Tom. How may I help you?
That's towards both of us?
Yeah, it's just out loud.
Did they say tongue?
Correction. Pardon my my vocal processor. TOM. Tardigrade
Tom.
Operations Manager. Tom.
Oh, that's very cheeky. I love that.
Vex, you'll see a eyebrow slightly twitch in frustration from Xoruk as he's trying to meditate, and there's a loud voice above him.
I see you're trying to meditate. Can I help you with that?
No.
There's no response.
Sorry, that was rude. Sorry, that was rude.
My apologies. I will update my relations program.
Find out what's going on with the captain, will you, Vex?
For sure. And I don't believe I have access of my token, but I will meander.
Oh, I will make sure that
Thank
happens
you.
to you.
Also, who did the map, Leah?
I did the map.
What? No way!
Is good map.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do pretty much all the maps for the game.
Yeah, I just wanted to gas you up.
I appreciate it. No, I fucking love drawing maps. I actually have a great time doing it, so I've just decided to lean into it rather than to I fully believe in the you don't need good maps or detailed maps to run a good game. Absolutely do not. I just like doing it. But yeah, you walk into the front area. Marine, who you've gotten to know slightly over the course of this short journey, it kind of much like Xoruk doesn't follow a lot of traditional Gith stereotypes as far as behavior goes. They're not militaristic like a Gith Yankee. and they're not necessarily meditative like a Githzerai, which even Xoruk still actually adheres to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
She is like fucking feet up on the like console, and she is reading some sort of like it looks like a book, but it's like tall and it's kind of glossy, and there's really just like pictures in it. She's just kind of flicking through it.
Is that some sort of like manual or some type of book?
She like leans it towards you, and it's got like different firearms on it and like details about them. It's space guns astrally. We got the new edition.
So, between you and me, how versed would you say Vex is, if at all, in the prospect of a quote-unquote gun?
How much time have you spent in Sigil?
I would think... I don't know if I've spent very long in Sigil.
Yeah. If you have not spent very long in Sigil, then yeah, I do not think particularly familiar.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to pardon my ignorance. A gun?
Yeah, firearms, shock hands, blast sticks,
There's
cannons? You've probably heard of a cannon.
A cannon? Yes, I've heard of cannons. I've never heard of them called as a gun, though. And you see, like, even though the helm is on, you can just read, like, you don't need an insight check, you can just read a bit of confusion, a lot of confusion, actually, over their expression.
She doesn't seem to be explaining it, and without an insight, there's almost like a that she's having not explaining it properly. Almost like she's fucking with you slightly.
Fantastic.
But as the two of you are talking, there's a flash on the screen in front of her, kind of red, and over the kind of intercom. Alert! This is Tom, Tardigrade Operations Manager. There is an incoming vessel. Alert! There is an incoming vessel.
My apologies, Xoruk, but I do believe you may want to assist in, decision-making here. It appears that we are not alone.
Xoruk will take a practiced breath out before finding himself very quickly to his feet and walking towards the front of the ship.
Looks like another one. Illithid warp. She's immediately locked in. She's kind of like thrown the magazine to the side, leaned forward, clicked a few buttons on an analog keyboard, and a flash comes up, and it's like almost like hologram of an Illithid like warp in front of it. Yep, Illithid warp. Incoming in about 10 seconds. You want to use a payload?
Okay, that was fast. Right, payload then it is.
Must have been a different group. All right, get up to the payload launcher, load it up. And I am going to give you the control over the stats of your ship.
Ooh. Oh shit, load up the Dale Chipotle.
You gotta load up the Dale Chipotle.
Yes, I know guac is extra. I still want it.
So the forward launcher is either a ranged weapon attack or a piloting check. So you can either choose to have Marine do it or you can do it. And the effect is dependent on the item launched.
I think Xoruk will request someone else kind of handle it as probably what happened before. Is Xoruk's kind of wait at assuming the boarding area is the front again.
Alrighty. Would either of you like to roll the piloting check for Marine? She has a +8, and if she is operating the vessel you're on, I allow you all to roll.
Saris, I'm looking you dead in the eye.
Okay.
If there is any time Leah asks for a roll, Do not ask me to do it. I will fail.
Okay. So we're doing a D20 plus 8?
Plus 8, yeah. This is Marine's piloting check. So that's a 17. So I will now reveal the stats of the ship that you are attacking.
That's a brilliant name.
The homewrecker.
Yeah.
As the warp activates in front of you, this purple plane of swirling energy with little lines and trails of white and black as tentacles begin to pull through. Marine begins operating a couple joysticks that stick out and is controlling the vessel. And at the right moment, she kind of says she would activate something on her ship. And after Xoruk, I'm going to say that you have the payloads. So you have 3 left. You launch one. You have 2 left after this. As you launch the payloads, there is a it kind of fires out and attaches to the outside of the shell of the vessel that comes through. You see kind of a purple lightning almost arc across the entirety of the ship as the tentacles slow down and the ship begins to list to one side and drift. Xoruk, I'm totally fine if you're not, because I have transcribed it. Do you have your speech down?
I actually listened back and wrote down what I said, so I
also did, just in case you didn't. I also did that. So, and you, she points at you as the comms, controls are next to you. All right, go ahead. You're up.
Okay, now. Fine. Crew of the nautiloid, you've fallen into a trap. Be you a thrall, make ready for investigation. Be you a geik, make ready your surrender. And be you Ibignal, make ready for war. In any case, make shallow your mast and prepare to be boarded. Dakar!
As the two parties meet, and that's where I'm going to call a brief break for myself to use the bio and for us to stretch our legs before getting into the second half of the session. Thank you to Hakka and Kazador, Connor, and Thero for sitting with us during the first half of story time.
They watched the first session. They had to sit with us
for a while.
The
first session was just us.
I know. I just wanted to thank you. Thank them after doing it, and I appreciate y'all doing the story this way, because I really like this way. Kind of
I've just been leaning back in my chair, just this is a nice story.
Real quick, you do your thing, Leah. I usually don't ask other people to vindicate. I have thoroughly dethroned Mark's bad luck spot.
Okay. I don't know what god of luck and chance you pissed off, but I've played with Mark a lot with Gobtober and Ravenloft, and your luck in the Netherdeep game is equivalent.
It's so bad that not only Monty but other DMs have told other DMs, oh, if you're DMing for Xan, don't force him to make a critical roll. He will fail that roll. Other DMs have warned other DMs that my rolls are that bad. That Mark could never.
Yeah, I love Mark. Mark likes to claim to be the bad luck king. I think it's Xan, having played with both you guys.
So here's what I find very interesting is I feel like you both have different types of bad luck, if that makes sense. And because this is complete. I'll admit this is complete bullshit, but I've noticed that Mark has a tendency of mostly just getting sporadic. It's bad luck, yes, but it's more a sporadic yeah, this is really bad. Okay, this is really bad. Okay, this is really bad. Okay, this is really bad. Hey, he's got a good roll, and then it'll even out for a little bit. Whereas I feel watching you, Xan, it's when you're there, you stay there for a while.
Yep. I like Darky Arts with Bertrand, like I did everything I could to get as many pluses as possible, and like Bertrand's average roll is below a 5. But since he's a fighter, he's able to hit, because like that's what fighters do, is they just hit stuff. Like in most campaigns, I run characters that force the DM to roll and not me. So it's like, all right, you get to roll because I'm done rolling.
But yeah. And it's also just for
remember yesterday? Oh, I'm gonna roll natural 1. Oh, you have advantage. Another natural 1.
Yeah, it was a double natural 1. It was just like
that has happened to me so often.
And I DM'd for Zan for what was it, like 30 or 40 sessions with Cybon, and there were times where it's like, okay, oh, nat 1, all right, use inspiration, double nat 1, and I'm just like, no, I'm vetoing that. That's bullshit. As like a DM, I'm just like, no. I had to give you like pity successes every now and then, just like oh, this is
That's
brutal.
Is that
I blame Roll20. Roll20 is also has a hand with this.
Yes.
I will say, as someone who plays a lot in person, it's not just Roll20.
Oh no.
I was gonna ask though, Zan, is this part of the reason why you oftentimes will try to get somebody else also in our game to do rolls and just...
Absolutely. Don't trust me to roll.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this makes sense. Understood. So what I'm hearing is that I should have you roll more.
Please do not. If you would like to character assassinate my whatever I'm playing, yes, absolutely force me to roll.
Thero, how would you say your Roll20 rolls are?
Honestly, like it's been very like kind of average. I've actually been keeping track of nat 1s and nat 20s in the Vecna game. I have like a little miscellaneous page for like miscellaneous notes, and I'm at 14 nat 1s and I'm at 12 nat 20s. But there was a bit where I was at 14 nat 1s and 7 nat 20s, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
I return. Thank you all for being patient as I did the leg stretch and got tea.
I still fucking hate Roll20 sometimes, because Roll20 be Roll20.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the luck is bad, ugh.
I am feast or famine. It doesn't matter on dice or Roll20. I think my first roll in the Sunday game was a natural 1. And Saris, I want you to know that means I will roll a natural 20 at a very critical moment at some point. Like, that's just how my fucking luck works.
I can't wait. I'm ecstatic to hear that. That's going to be beautiful, and we are going to celebrate.
It's just, I do not know what it is. It is nat 1s or nat 20. It is like in the top 5 or the bottom 5. Which is why I always hit Pharaoh no matter how much AC he has.
Yeah. I'm just tempted to take shield off my spell list. Like, it's just not.
It has saved you, but it has not saved you as many times as you wanted to.
The difference between 15 AC and 20 AC is nothing. It's just nothing.
The problem with that is the most common statistically rolled numbers in Dungeons and Dragons are 20 and 21. So if your AC is 20 or 21, you're going to actually get hit more often than you think. And then you'd like. If you get above that, if you start to hit 22, 23, that's actually where AC starts to make like a difference.
I'll just respec Relic to Bladesinger and just be obnoxious.
I am ready to continue whenever you all are.
Ready to go.
Can you give me like exactly 30 seconds because
Take your
the
time. I
DoorDasher
just want to
pulled
check.
into the driveway.
Could I have some?
This is why
Yeah.
I ask.
Yeah. So give me
All right,
like 30
you're-
seconds.
30 seconds, go.
Wait, I don't need the stats for Tom or the home record. That's y'all's job. I don't fucking have to deal with that.
I also, Leah, I was so ready just for an old like fungus lady to be on the ship, and I was just ready.
Right.
I was just
Right.
ready. Come here, dearie. But
She is somewhere. I've gotten
Yeah,
explicit permission from Ross.
yeah, I know. And I'm not going to say who I'm talking about, chat, because you'll have to watch and find out.
Mm-hmm. I have to double check with Jack that I can use the art.
I return.
I'm sure.
That was 45 seconds.
Damn it!
15 demerits.
Damn it! I was close. It's fine.
Your Honor, League of Legends.
But I'm good. I'm here. Thank you for your patience.
War criminal, how do you know about Inky? Who told you?
If that's
Is that
That's-
Ross?
I'm pretty sure that's Ross's.
Oh shit! Why is your name not
you-
Sugar Daddy Fistums?
I'm pretty sure they changed it. Yeah.
Oh. Lol. Hi Ross, how you?
I
doing?
got you, Ross. I remember.
I can't keep track of everybody's names. If they have a different Discord name and a different Twitch name and a different Blue Sky name, I can't keep track of that shit.
Everyone good to go. Finger guns.
Finger guns.
Let's do it.
Connor? I will wait till the Connor.
Connor when we Connor.
I Connored until I Theroed.
So,
wish
Thero,
I
it was you who
could-
asked for DoorDash, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer seasoned or unseasoned fries?
Seasoned.
Seasoned all
Okay.
day.
Yeah, I'm terrible because like I blame Connor for this. I'll get like French fries, and I'll like coat them in oil, and then like I'll toss them in with the seasoning that Connor recommended me called Slap Ya
Slap Ya
Mamas.
Mama.
Yeah, and
That's how Connor comes back.
the problem
Perfect.
is I love it. It's really spicy and delicious, but everybody else wants to eat my fries, and they try it, and they're like, "Oh, it's so spicy," and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Is
It's
it the
pretty-
paprika?
It's pretty spicy and salty, to be fair.
Yes, yeah. Well, I have the white pepper blend and the hot blend. So like sometimes I use the hot blend on stuff. And...
The packaging for Slap Ya Mama is essentially what boils down to a cardboard tube
Yep.
and a piece of plastic to filter it out.
Yes.
It's got Comic Sans on the label. I'm not kidding. And
It's
they
very,
are
very
always
silly.
dented.
Yep.
The packaging is always dented.
It's
No matter
so
what.
good, y'all.
It's
so
really
y'all.
good.
You
That's
don't
how you know it's
understand.
good.
Slap ya mama.
Slap Yo Mama. But I am back, and I am
Yep.
ready.
Chat, you can go to slapyamama.com to go get you.
Not sponsored. Unless
We're not, dude. If we could get sponsored by Slap Ya Mama, Connor,
Connor, make the call.
Connor, make the call.
Do they have an affiliate program?
Fucking
I
new
don't-
Cerveza Cristal.
I don't know. They have a contact. You can contact them. This is gonna be like the Die Hard Die sponsorship. I
Use
swear.
code SLAP to...
Slap your mama too.
So that was unfair. I took a sip of my drink as soon as you said that.
You've joined a very exclusive club.
I'm,
People I've almost killed.
I'm there with you.
But I am back, and I'm ready.
Everyone else good?
I never left.
Finger guns.
Finger guns. Pharaoh.
I folded her ass like a futon and climbed into the pussy like a marsupial.
Pharaoh,
no.
drink some water.
Pharaoh, no.
Theropod Bartholomew Art.
I pull out the fucking spray bottle like...
It's Dracula Flow!
I know it's Dracula Flow.
we know where it's from. It's still out of pocket.
I'm sorry. I can't wait to be the super serious dinosaur man in a minute.
Let's get back, Leo.
I love you. All right, yeah, let's get back to it. So, flashing aboard the nautiloid, which has just been disabled briefly, I'm going to bring us to our heroes aboard the nautiloid.
Boy.
You guys are not in combat, so act as you will.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure this fucker's dead, sorry.
Yep. Can I drag his body and meet Kazador where Kazador is?
Yep, yeah.
And you can remove the spirit weapon from the map.
Cool. Just let me know whenever you need that.
Well, here's our stowaway. And I just toss the body in front of Kazador.
I see. I'm supposing he didn't give you much of a choice.
I may have fell into my bloodthirsty ways.
Well, he boarded our vessel. It was the fate he chose.
How do we want to confront these?
I don't know where we are. I'm not sure if we violated any laws by traveling here, but we were escaping. I can only hope that they aren't party to those Githyanki we saw earlier.
I trust your judgment. If we want to use words to get out of this, then very well.
We will try, but if they force our hand... He just looks down at the body.
I will meet them.
Aboard... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask if there's any way to, like, return correspondence.
The ship is kind of... like, there was that kind of, like, psychic feedback, almost. And you were kind of, like, force-ejected, like, connection with the ship. If you'd like to try to connect with the ship again, you're welcome to try to do so.
I think I would just like to say... We are standing down.
All right. You reconnect with the ship, and there's still kind of like a psychic feedback. You do not think that the message actually is going through right now. Whatever is happening with the ship, it's kind of shut down. It's telepathic, telekinetic, or it's telepathic communications.
Whatever they've done, it seems to have interfered with the nautiloid somehow. I can't return correspondence.
Perfect.
Worry not. At least they didn't attack us immediately, so that might mean they're open to conversation. We should go out and meet them, though.
Lead the way.
As the two of you stride to one of the outer decks, I'm actually going to delete this one and get you the good token.
Oh. Bring the corpse.
Hakka has had his claw on this guy's leg, like the ankle, this entire time, and he's just been dragging it, which unfortunately has led, like, everywhere where Hakka's walked with this thing, it's just left a trail of blood all over the ship.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Kazador's just
you guys...
prestidigitation.
You do that in here, absolutely. As the door in front of you does opens, you actually see in the room beyond, where it was like dragged through the hallway, that the floor itself seems to be absorbing the blood.
Oh shit!
That's just great.
It self-cleans.
Convenient.
See what you want about Illithids. You know how to run a tight ship.
You get the sense that there was a lot of blood splayed out here, or like in nautiloids, and that it makes a lot of sense that they would have a like bioprocessor. And you're thinking about it, and you're like,
that's why the toilets are self-cleaning.
Yep. And you were like, oh, and as you realize that the ship is bioprocessed. Like a lot of nautiloids, by the way, this is just actual nautiloid lore. They're bioprocess fueled. That's why they're like living ships. One of the only ones that aren't are the ones that are tree ships. Those are very cool.
That's also
we'll get to the living.
I suppose we'll go to the hangar.
Yeah. Fair enough. You guys can either go to the hangar or you can go to the outer decks.
The outer decks. Yeah, that's probably...
Yeah. You know the Astral Sea. It is not like... So there is a part of... Like, if you go straight out of a plane, like straight up through the sky, you will hit something known as wild space, which is what we understand space to be. In the Astral Sea, which is like among the stars where you are currently, it's actually more of like a nebulous floating and like empty zone. It's cold out there, and extended time out there does cause like frostbite if you don't have some sort of like something to protect yourself
vacuum sealed environment.
Or there are like some spelljammers are like open topped, and they actually have like environmental, like they have heat vents that come out of the top of the ship that keep the area around the top of the ship warm. This kind of like, that's where like the heat exhaust comes out of. They have like are designed around it.
Myself and Hakka especially are probably particularly suited for braving cold environments.
You walk out and you guys have your cold weather gear on, and you're like, this is fucking nothing. It is significantly warmer than the Dale, I'll say that.
Wow. What's colder, the vacuum of space or Icewind Dale?
The Astral Sea or Icewind Dale, it is genuinely Icewind Dale during the spot.
Funny as fuck.
Still got my ring of warmth on.
Oh yeah, with resistance to cold, no worries whatsoever. But aboard the tardigrade, aboard Tom, you begin to descend towards the ship, and Marine is actually picking up speed. You've done this a couple times as the kind of front sort of protrudes and is getting ready, ramming speed basically to collide into the side of the vessel and like burrow into it and give you a boarding entrance. But as you're doing so, with your passive perception, Xoruk, you actually see either through one of the like panels, because there are no like windows in here. Everything seeing outside is entirely through these kind of glass, almost like mirrors. And you see two figures. They're like identified via like heat sensor that are walking out onto the deck. And their shapes are not that of an illithid. And they are also dragging what looks like the corpse of a humanoid. It is impossible, especially with the way Hakka killed them, impossible to tell what the humanoid is.
Two thralls holding a corpse. We should be careful.
Do they look, dare I say it, threatening?
Hard to tell, at least from this distance.
Roll an insight check.
At me?
Xoruk, who's kind of like observing the figures. Hard to tell at this distance. Yeah, that's about right.
Yep. Well then, shall we give them a proper greeting?
You want me to put you on the deck?
Aye. If you could.
In that case, it's probably best head to the hatch. Tom will tell you how it works. And we're going to flash to the tardigrade real quick. And she points behind her in this direction.
You see Xoruk look at the hatch and just think really hard. Open.
It opens.
Hey, just gonna act like that's normal.
Actually, you're gonna think really hard, and it's gonna open, and there's gonna be like an unsealing, and it's actually gonna start descending, like a platform.
There's a look on Vex's face when that happens, of just. Can I assume that Xoruk is just like staring at it very intently?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this moment where Vex is like looking at Xoruk and then looking at the fact that like it opened, it worked, and there's just like a little bit of a grin, just a little bit of a grin.
Xoruk's gonna act like this is the most normal thing that could have happened so far, and is gonna walk on the platform to go down.
Mm-hmm. You step on the platform as it's going down. Despite its size and like the way 5 feet works, is you are operating in that space. You don't take up the entirety of 5 feet. So the two of you kind of go back to back on the platform as it kind of descends. And that is what this random floating thing over here is.
Ooh, okay.
This is actually what it descends onto, and you step off onto. And this is actually a platform that is below the tardigrade. It is the observation deck. It kind of like hangs via some struts and like some like pretty, what looks like very sturdy beams that go into the base of the ship. And it is just a platform that hangs down. The feet are just below it. So if this were to land, this would be like where you could drop down onto and like step onto the ground.
Mm-mm.
Xoruk, you actually get the sense this is one of the few, this is one of the, like, very few, actually, types of spelljammers that can operate on sea, in the astral sea, and on land. Based on, like, the way it has its, like, landing, like the legs can actually, like, land, and it, like, doesn't interrupt with like this platform. You actually think this thing can land on like solid ground, which is fairly unusual for spelljammers.
All right. Xoruk is going to take a kind of a breath out to kind of begin his mental shielding and get ready to encounter the individuals up ahead that he probably believes are thralls.
Yep. And as the two of you aboard the nautiloid... sorry, Vex, was there something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was very simple, but as he's kind of putting his mental, shall we say, mental shield together, shields out, hammers out. Like, I look like I'm ready to meet whatever kind of threat is approaching us, right? That he mentioned that there were 2 thralls in a body. All right, if there are bodies to be had, then there are bodies to be made.
And as you go aboard the top, like the top of the top deck, right behind one of the forest ballista, and the two of you kind of stand there at the ready, and you look up and you see what looks like both of you could roll me nature checks to see if you actually would even know what a tardigrade is.
Oh goody!
It's a water bear. It's a water bear.
It's a water bear. No, this was actually meant for Hakka and Kazador. I was gonna say y'all know
what the fuck.
Hakka.
It's a water bear.
It was actually the Saurian people who discovered that water bears exist.
Bear.
It's a yeah. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Chat, in order
I
to
love
figure
this
out
so
if it's a
much.
water bear, we got a nat 1. I got a nat 20. Connor got a nat 1.
So,
Leah sandwich.
Xoruk, Yeah, it's Xoruk. It's a fucking water bear. Hakka. It's a water bear. Connor. It's a water bear.
How the fuck would Hakka know about these things?
I just said the Sorrel people were actually the ones who discovered tardigrades.
That's a tardigrade.
Looks like
A common
some kind
name
of
is a
wet
water
dog.
bear. Well, the common name is a water bear. They fashioned one into a ship. Curious.
And you see, actually, below there's a platform where two individuals stand. And Xoruk and Vex, who we've already described, below you see, and because this is technically episode 1, Kazador and Hakka describe what they see. We'll start with Kazador in that order.
Kazador is a relatively short for a hobgoblin. He's lacking the grim countenance and musculature that his kind usually can be seen with. He stands roughly 5'8". He's adorned in flowing maroon robes with black accents and brass trim. He wears a pointed mage's hat that seems to be made of different patches of skin that have been sewn together. He also wears a strange-looking monocle that almost seems to be alive, as it sort of like writhes and pulses against his face. He has deep amber-colored eyes that have sort of reptilian-looking slit pupils that almost seem to resemble the hands of a clock, and indeed, Roman numerals can be seen circling the iris of his eye, further driving home the clock motif. Littering his face and hands are white draconic scales. In his hand rests a staff that looks like it's made of the deepest black obsidian, and it thrums with power.
In between them, the corpse of a Githyanki warrior, and on the other side, Banemaw.
So Hakka, standing at a humble 5'6", is what I would call an obnoxiously colored, scarred Saurian. Mustard yellows, deep reds, and royal blue scales. He is fit with ceremonial shamanistic armor of bronze and bone. His helmet is adorned with bright pink feathers and turquoise adornments. His movements appear sluggish and methodical, but his eyes betray a hair-trigger cunning and ferocity. He is equipped with a shield and a now very ornate, beautiful-looking war pick with a encrusted like emerald as like the pick part. Also, he has a laser rifle on his back. That's weird. But the most mighty weapon in his arsenal, his maw, filled with jagged spear-like teeth, filled with also having two impaling tusks as well, like an orc. Yeah, that's Banemaw.
As the two of you, Vex and Xoruk, as the ship kind of descends to put the platform right next to the top deck, you see two individuals who strike you as significantly more in control of their capabilities than any thralls you've ever seen. As you may place yourselves on the nautiloid map as our party meets for the first time.
Oh,
Vex
boy.
is, before stepping off the platform, is going to nudge Xoruk and just whisper, I was expecting illithids. I've never seen an illithid that looked like that before.
These very well could be thralls, but they aren't acting the way they should. Something is wrong here, Vix. Keep your guard up.
Absolutely will do. And I would actually like to insight check these two strangers.
Absolutely.
To see if they are, shall we say, corrupted.
Okay.
We're working
do
on
it.
it. We're working on it.
We had spoken about, I believe, in session 0 that we are okay with opposing checks, correct? As long as everyone gives consent?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you want us to roll, like, deception, or...
You may roll, and you may private roll this if you prefer. Deception, persuasion, or intimidation, depending on the vibe you're trying to give off going into this.
Okay. You know what? I won't do it privately, but how about intimidate? Oh my God, Hakka! Jesus Christ, 24 is my number for today.
If and that's the case, I will do persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 19.
19. So
20 on my end.
So with an insight, what you get from the surface kind of intentions and reads is the ferocity and hair-trigger anger that is Hakka Banemaw is ready to fucking go. There is a control over a rage there that is thoroughly different from anything that Illithids sort of operate by or sort of have behaviorally. There is, and you know, Illithids to be different in certain cases, like no one's the same, but there is a sapience to this individual. There is a control that is betraying a certain level of mental fortitude of which you've seen rarely. And beyond just that surface ferocity, you do not get much off of Banemaw. With Kazador... Oh, go ahead.
Can I deduce that this fine, ferocious gentleman might be the cause of death of the body on the ground?
Considering that the end of the really brilliant gem sort of war pick,
yeah.
it's a T-Rex skull, like it's carved in the shape of a T-Rex skull, and the teeth are dripping with blood.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Understood. Please continue.
Real quick,
go ahead.
as we kind of land, Hakka obviously looking ready to go and ready to fight. Xoruk will look somewhat suspicious, as thralls typically are a bit more scared rather than angry. He's going to psionically link with Hakka and manifest a detect thoughts spell. Just surface, so it's not anything probing, but just seeing if this anger is his anger or if it's someone else projecting the anger into him.
What are Hakka's surface thoughts, as we're focused on Hakka briefly?
Hakka is very surface level anger, obviously. If we want to get more specific, it's frustration with having such a beautiful day ruined. He's like, oh man, awesome festival and getting to see my son again. God damn it, I gotta go to space. Motherfucker, I'm in space right now when I can be at home. This bullshit, man. It's very much that.
Hearing that his thoughts are his own, he's gonna raise a hand, raise one hand for Vex to stop, and kind of look curiously.
Before any interaction happens, what Vex you would read off of Kazador, however, there is a diplomacy, a cool, kind of calm aura about them that betrays someone who is very experienced in diplomatic relations, someone who has a control over their own demeanor and behavior that is very practiced, which is unusual. You also get a sense of, with a 20 is kind of it is above the persuasion. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Connor, there's a certain level of confusion about Kazador that's not really trying to be hidden, but isn't obvious. But with an insight check, you're like, okay, they're confused about what's going on here.
Speaking out loud, hey, in common, Shkatzai.
I don't speak Gith.
Probably not, no.
I will hold a hand up, as if to say, "Please hold," and I will cast Comprehend Languages.
All right.
Shkatze is a greeting in the Gith language. It's usually one of like honorific, but he said it as with a question mark, like, are you honorable? Are you yourself?
I am honorable.
He'll nod.
I am Kazador Rain. This is Hakka Banemaw. Why have you stopped our vessel?
Is this one yours?
Drops a Githyanki warrior in front of you. You do not recognize him.
Chk, I do not own anyone.
Very well.
I am Xoruk. This is Vex. Vex, I do not believe they mean us any harm.
I don't believe so either, and if I'm to be completely honest with you, to answer your question, your ship is a little, shall we say, shaped?
It's a nautiloid, I realize.
Yes.
We are hunting.
Forgive us for our, shall we say, abrupt and very aggressive disposition, but I do believe you would understand our disposition.
I do indeed understand. Me and my fellow here, Hakka. Did you just gestures for Hakka to introduce himself?
I am Hakka Banemaw, shaman to the Saurian Empire. And I'll have you two know. And I know where this is going to lead, Leah, so just give me a moment. Kazador and I are Heroes of Icewind Dale and Slayers of the Frost Maiden. So if you two want to...
As you're beginning to... Yeah.
Hakka's entire, like, snout just encases in ice, and it shuts him off from talking. And he begins, like, scraping off ice, like it's a muzzle on his snout.
Mm-hmm. You're going to take 6
going
points
to
of cold damage.
How much cold damage am I taking?
6 points reduced to 3 points of cold.
All right.
That's very funny.
It takes about 30 seconds for our Hakka to get the ice off, so you two can keep talking.
One of these days you'll learn.
Forgive, I suppose, the intrusion, then. We are hunters looking for specifically a particularly nasty illithid. We believed, as we've been hunting nautiloids, that this would be another one of those ships. Obviously, we are wrong. But I would be remiss to ask, what are you doing here? Where's the rest of your crew?
You're looking at it. The crew of this vessel is only my...
Sign.
You want to say something, Bex?
She just said, "Oh, that is not a good sign."
We don't have much need for a crew. Well, we did depart in haste, I should mention. As it turns out, our home, Toro, had just been besieged by Githyanki raiding parties.
Hakka gets the ice off, and they were riding red dragons.
X is gonna slow turn look at Xoruk for a moment.
Xoruk's gonna shrug.
Slow nod.
It seems there's something large happening out here.
You came out here to hunt Githyanki.
We came out here to escape Githyanki.
Curious position.
Indeed.
Where you travel, there will sincerely be far more Gith than your homeland of Toril.
What is also curious is that it seems this unknown, and he points to the corpse, had managed to set these coordinates specifically.
They knew you were here.
May I?
It seems somebody wanted you to do their dirty work.
May I for a moment inspect the body?
By all means.
And Hakka would back away.
Xoruk will move towards the body and check. Do they have the drab and clothes of a pirate, or do they have any pendants of Vlaakith showing kind of their indication of loyalty?
They have Vlaakith's. They have symbols that show loyalty to Vlaakith. Yes.
I can assure you, the ones that travel after this illithid that we aren't now are far unlikely to be Vlaakith worshippers like this one. You'll find far more pirates out here than raiders of the dead queen.
Would I know about Vlaakith?
Roll me. I would allow religion, history, or arcana.
I will do history.
And they do kind of get you different things. But history...
Hakka got an 18 religion, so...
28
Oh
history.
my god, Kazador.
Okay, with an 18 religion, Hakka, what you know about Vlaakith is that Vlaakith is some sort of... or is worshipped in certain circles of Gith. And that's like one of the only things you've learned about, like through kind of like tangential learning with Kazador. You were like curious one day, you like asked about how like Gith religion works, and Kazador explained to you like that there's a sect of Gith that actually worship their queen as a god, and that is what you know. With a history, you have actually studied recently that there are several like creation myths about Vlaakith. What you know is Vlaakith is a immortal soul that possesses different bodies over the course of many generations in order to maintain herself. She is functionally a lich who uses Gith, a powerful Gith as her phylactery. That is like what you are able to learn, and it is actually seen like as an honor in a lot of Vlaakith worshipping societies. You also know that with a history that Vlaakith is the queen of of specifically the Gith Yankee, or at least you have heard rumbling of some sort of revolution currently that may be happening with Gith that is disrupting the current power structure. Could be why they're acting erratically.
I've been hearing murmurings on our home planet. Something is happening, some sort of great upheaval that has to do with the Gith.
Aye. Vlaakith demands servitude, demands service. He will find the more Githyanki that you encounter can become a bit more restless than such chains would allow.
I should take that to mean as you are not one of them.
No. That being said, I have been hired by a number of Githyanki and others who have invested interest in making sure that Geg do not spread this sector. As such, myself and Vex here have been hunting a number of ships. We thought this would be our fourth doing the hunt, but instead, we find you. And for that, I must apologize. We are not here to make war with strangers to this realm, especially sailors out for exploration.
You're here to make war with... What did you say their name was?
Ibignal.
Roll... You don't even have to roll me. That is the, name that this ship was kind of, had as the psychic controller. That's the illithid that you slew to take this nautiloid.
Ibignal. He's tapping his chin. Wasn't that the name of the illithid who was controlling this vessel, Hakka?
Correct. So, unless you want to jail a pile of ashes, that illithid is no more.
You slew Ibignal?
With this,
Hakka would pull out the laser rifle and produce it.
Still detecting thoughts. Is it truthful?
Yes, absolutely. You actually get a flash of, them killing him.
Yeah, and Hakka's very prideful about it. If you're still getting the detect thoughts going, pride overflowing into inflated ego is the sense you're feeling.
Xoruk will look impressed and kind of lean back slightly, a bit more casually and not armed anymore, and just kind of give both of you a nod.
My apologies again. Seems I have underestimated you, travelers.
No harm, no foul, I guess. But we do have a mystery now, Kazador. If these lot are not responsible for that attack, who is?
If you are trying to find a guide as to who may have attacked you, perhaps you can meet with the captain that brought us here. They may have more information that we do not.
Kazador, not turning his head, just sort of looks over at Hakka for just gauging his thoughts on that.
Kazador, our people were attacked in broad daylight. We should follow this to where it leads.
Then I think we would like to meet this captain of yours.
For the sake of trust, both of our sakes, I would recommend a standard parley. One of ours stays here, one of yours goes with us. As we are the invitee, you may choose.
Kazador looks over to Hakka as if to say,
I can hold down the fort, don't worry.
thank you. I'll return
Vex sort
shortly.
of looks... Sorry.
Go ahead, Saris.
Vex sort of looks over at Xoruk and then looks over to Kazador and just says, I think it would be in your best interest if the two of you went together. I can stay with... Looks back over to you, Hakka. I'm so sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Hakka. Hakka Banemaw.
I'll stay with Hakka.
And what do you prefer to be called?
You can just call me Vex. Vex is fine. And there's a smile. It's a pleasant smile, and they set the head of the hammer down and offer a very pleasant wave.
Hakka sets his war pick down and kind of does a mimicking mirror motion.
Xoruk will put a calm hand onto your shoulder armor, Vex, and kind of give you a nod of I trust you, but be careful.
There's a slow nod of acknowledgement.
Don't worry. My bark is worse than my bite. But my bite is still pretty bad, though.
Oh yes, I noticed that one.
Xoruk will move over towards the platform and kind of motion, again, very invitingly towards the platform, towards Kazador.
Alrighty. Kazador, you follow?
Kazador slowly makes his way over to the platform as well, turning back to look at Hakka.
Hakka like does like the like chin up like I got this, don't worry.
And Kazador gives the downward nod of acknowledgement.
We are going to follow the two who kind of raise on the like as you kind of think it, the platform lowers from the ceiling, and then you two step on and it raises again. As it's raising, Kazador, you look out into the astral sea around you, and you actually see 3 other nautiloids just kind of listing, like one above, 2 below, with like explosions out of like certain sections of the shells, and like the occasional body half drifting out of one of the holes. It seems like they've been cleaning up nautiloids here for a little bit. But as the platform raises, I'm going to keep Vex over there and bring the 2 of you inside the ship.
Here I am.
Apologies, Captain, but it appears we have a guest. May I introduce a calm and unenthralled Kazador?
I was wondering why there was no, like, fighting going on. Hello, welcome to my vessel. Hello, welcome to Tom. How can I help you?
Kazador just like he sort of like jumps as he hears the other voice, and he just like looks around. Greetings, Tom and Captain. I am Kazador Rain, formerly of the Kazador Empire and chosen of the White Worm.
Well, that's a title. I am Marine.
Marine.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
Likewise. I'm led to believe that there's perhaps something we can help each other out with.
Huh? She just kind of leans against the wall and is like waiting expectantly.
We seem to have an illithid problem.
Well, I was kind of hired to be sort of go-between. I hired these 2. I have some contacts throughout Gith relations. Not great contacts, but I have some. And and then I had heard about Xoruk being like a good assassin or illithid. Just kind of gestures over at him.
I am not a geek.
Yep. Gives you a thumbs up, like, yep.
He's gonna take a breath out. He's kind of used to people just interchangeably using terms that would be offensive in a lot of circles, but he's going to kind of sit cross-legged again and focus on their conversation, but also closing his eyes.
This is very typical of a lot of Gith pirates who have not been raised in either of the Gith societies and do not have a lot of like connection to the classic Gith language. And again, she kind of leans against the wall. But yeah, no, I was hired as kind of the middle person for it. So kind of, yes, we've had an illithid problem.
Captain Marine, I believe that these travelers would require some form of guidance. Perhaps the people who hired you might be able to give them more information.
Who hired me? She's gonna turn around and head over to some sort of like console over here. Seems like, and is going to kind of start tapping on some buttons. Some sort of Gith Yankee naval officer, Radamus. Do you know? It looks over at Kazador. Do you know him?
Do I?
Goddess?
Kazador, you would not recognize the name, but Xoruk, that name would absolutely interrupt your meditation.
Kind of takes a deep breath out.
Redeemus. Redeemus.
Okay.
Redeemus hired you?
Yeah, to hire you specifically.
Chick. Something is wrong here. Do you know Redeemus? You met them before, Captain.
No, they're a friend of a contact of mine. I was hired again as like a middle person.
He nods before standing up and opening his eyes.
The picture is becoming a little more clear now. Kazador, or is it Captain Kazador?
Just Kazador is fine.
Well, there's a Githyanki that I know of. He is hell-bent on finishing the Gith Civil War at any costs. As such, I find it strange that he would hire me, albeit through a different channel, but I am not a Githyanki. To many outsiders that may appear so. I am a Githzerai, and long ago, my people and the Githyanki split apart, no longer just Gith. There's been war ever since, and this officer Redeemus, he wants me and all my kind dead.
His brow sort of furrows at that. And yet he hired you through a third party.
He may have hired me for a situation that would put me to death.
Kazador blinks for a moment. He looks down and he looks up, looks between the two of them. They were hoping we'd fight.
He nods.
They were hoping me and Hakka would kill you.
He nods again.
He must know us somehow, but I couldn't fathom how.
Perhaps your reputation precedes you.
I would think only on Toril, not in the Astral Sea. We are considered heroes in certain regions of our home planet, but we've only just ventured out into the stars. Something strange is indeed going on here.
Well, Captain Marine, I'm a bit lost for strategies as to how to move forward. You got any suggestions? Anyone we might be able to talk to?
Yeah, I have a bunch of contacts back in Sigil, but we're out in the middle of nowhere. The reason why this is a good place to jump to is it's a hard place to jump from. That's what we were doing here. Fuck. Hold up. And she starts flicking through stuff, and I'm going to use that as a moment to get kind of a vignette of what it's like on the other ship right now.
Okay. I do have something for Hakka. Hakka would look to Vex and just would say, "Give me a moment." And Hakka goes to the corpse, and you would notice Vex, he begins to kind of situate the body, like put it on its back, cross the arms, kind of like puff out the armor and stuff to just make it look neat, as pretty typical ceremonial rites, as Hakka like pours into his bag, finds some silver powder, and just kind of rubs it and dusts the body as I will cast ceremony. Funeral rite.
Hell yeah.
How does Vex react to all this, as it takes Hakka... Oh, an hour! Oh my god!
Yep.
You're beginning the ritual.
Yeah. How would Vex react to that?
Quite frankly, Hammer.
Because straight up, Hakka looks like a warrior. He looks like a barbarian, and then the second like his hands start glowing turquoise, you're like, oh shit, he's magical.
Hammer is set. Again, it's kind of impressive. It's just gonna stand there on its head for a minute, with the handle just straight up. Vex is going to remove their helm as a sign of respect. Says nothing. There also notably though seems to be no sign of any shifting or any change in their demeanor at all. And if you want to insight that, I will allow it.
Okay. I want the nat one so bad. Oh, of course, 23. Jesus Christ, Hakka.
Would you like me to roll as well, Leah?
If you would like. I think this is entirely up to you.
So it's really easy to read. The absence of any change, the absence of any emotion is pretty indicative of someone who has seen this probably performed before. Maybe not the exact same, shall we say, same rites, right? Not the same ritual specifically, but this is someone who's very well acquainted and is largely unfazed by what they are seeing in front of them.
I'm trying to work on it. The hatred. In my younger days, I would dab my enemies. But as I grow old, things aren't so black and white. Sometimes others just fall on bad luck. Old habits die hard, but I try to give mercy when I can.
Well, and if it's, I suppose, any judge of your character, the fact that you have chosen to put this person permanently to rest is quite a merciful act.
While they may be my enemy, they aren't monsters. And I will not become a monster to fight my enemies.
Vex sort of tilts their head to the side when you say that. Just a little bit. As if wanting to ask questions, but there's a recognition that that would be largely rude and invasive, given the fact that we just met each other. And I think at that point, as you're settling into this sort of state of self-reflection and conversation.
The entire time Hakka's talking, he doesn't seem focused to look at you, but he is talking to you. He's very focused.
Yeah.
On the corpse.
Yeah. There's a moment in a very similar but very different reflectiveness, where Vex just kind of almost, you know, in the way that some people might anxiously sit there like, I want to do something, but I'm gonna sit here and wait, and I'm going to do so patiently.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of a little bit of that as Vex sort of starts almost like shifting their weight between their feet. Again, with this sense of, it's very clear that there are questions, that it's very clear that They want to do something. They want to participate almost in a way, but they were given orders to stay on guard.
Speak your mind, young one. Again, my bark is worse than my bite.
Right. Then you'll have to forgive my rudeness. I realize it's incredibly impolite.
We almost came to blows today. I can handle a bit of rudeness.
Right. Well, then I guess I want to ask why you believe, out of genuine curiosity, why you believe that, well, your statement about not becoming a monster. I can clearly tell that there's, with all due respect, probably a novel.
My culture has had a bad history with evil undead. We revere the spirits, but
Oh, we have a lot more common than I thought we did. That's great.
Hakka kind of, you know when a bird tries to look at something and they, like, their head turns away, but it's how Hakka actually gets a good look at things, where he puts the side of his head to face you. Like, he's like, huh?
I've had my fair share of dealing with the undead. Myself. More than I would like, more than I think is probably fair for anyone's lifetime.
most would turn away or leave a room with such funeral rites going on. A lot of people don't want to be privy to death.
With all due respect, I've had to bury my own, so I'm quite used to it.
Hakka looks to the floor, and there's a look of, like, introspection where he kind of loses himself in his head for a moment.
My apologies. That was probably oversharing. I
It
am
is
so
quite
sorry.
all right. It is quite all right. I take matters such as this very seriously. If I were to mutilate this corpse and just toss it to the astral sea, its spirit could come back and haunt me. This is my way of keeping the peace.
You'll see Vex is like nodding, like almost like Muppet nodding rapidly in agreement, in understanding and approval. Yeah, no, I completely understand. I think that's completely fair, and I think you're in your right to do that. I commend you for it, if anything, and appreciate it, if anything.
For what it's worth, thank you.
No, thank you.
I will not pry into your dealings with death, but sit with me as I send this one on its way.
And Hakka would kind of ask you to, like, carry this guy, like, help him carry this guy to a section of the ship. Is there a morgue, Leah, in the ship? Where can I put this thing?
I
I think the ship just eats the body.
There is a bioprocessor, yeah.
Oh no! Oh god!
You know those vats of like bubbling liquid in the engine room?
Okay.
Yeah, you can put any bio substance in that and it'll feed the ship.
And the thing is, Hakka asked you to help him with this. He could easily carry this body. He looks strong.
100%. 100%. But
he's
will do it anyway.
It's almost like he's testing you in a fucked up kind of way. You can take that from what you will, but
Yeah, no, but I think in this moment of camaraderie, I think Vex would recognize the gesture for what it is and how, once again, rude it would be to decline. So they're just gonna set the shield down, set the helm down, and kind of clack over and help carry this body.
we get to the processing bit, and Hakka's just gonna blurt out,
I'm gonna be real, I don't know if this is proper protocol. I'm a little outside of my home planet, so
I
hope.
also can't say that I've ever flown a nautiloid, so I don't know if this is proper protocol either. Let's just do it and say we knew it.
Improvisation. Well, my enemy, you are formidable to the very end. May your body and spirit be at peace now.
and Hakka will just slide it into the engine, I guess.
Yeah, no, and I mean, as a perfectly natural part of life, the body is consumed to fuel a larger creature. Like, the nautiloid is a living thing. And I do not think Hakka, with his upbringing, would think that's very weird, honestly.
Okay, alright, okay.
Just
Like,
very
with your
vividly
time-
pictured, just like bagpipes as this Githyanki chord slowly sinks into this like acid.
I got the fucking
the
like
fucking
I
coffee
don't
meme.
yeah, the coffin meme, yeah.
I don't think Hakka would find it strange that it's happening. Hakka might find it strange how it's happening.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the weird part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know, normally I'm not used to be privy to the digestion of creatures in such visceral detail.
I have this mental image of the two of them standing side by side, just staring down,
Just
Yeah.
slowly
like actively
decomposing
being
body.
consumed. And there's this awkward like after he says that, there's like this awkward silence between the two of them. They don't look at each other. They don't say anything.
That is where we're cutting. We have to cut it there. There's no better way to we cut it right there. The two of them make eye contact with each other
Sarah's-
as like the last hand just kind of like the Gollum hand just kind of like drifts into the goop.
Saris, thank you so much for picking up what I was putting down there. That was beautiful.
Fucking okay, so here's what's gonna happen. For the absolutely beautiful roleplay on everyone's part, all of you get a hero point. And Xoruk, you get an extra hero point. One, because you roll so badly, and I'm gonna be extra generous with Zan with hero point. And two, because you also absolutely played to your character perfectly in the intro sequence, doing the like dive through assassinate, like absolutely 100% hero point for that.
No, thank you.
As I will allow everyone to have a short rest here if anyone would like.
Okay.
If anyone needs to spend any abilities, wants to, this would be the equivalent of a short rest as you guys... Marina is kind of tapping away and trying to find some information. She does absolutely swear that there is, like, not like, oh god, yeah, I absolutely swear, but she's like, I have contacts in Sigil that will be able to help. And she's talking about how to get there. How much do Kazador and Xoruk want to pay attention to her ramblings about how planar jumping works?
I mean, Xoruk wouldn't pay too much attention because he already kind of knows, but
I think Kazador would be fairly fascinated with it.
Yeah. What she kind of vaguely explains, and I'll kind of as her real quick, is she's like, all right, so basically it boils down to kind of three things. that allow you to planar travel. You can always use the Phlogiston or like the sea. You can just straight go places if you know how to get there and if you're willing to traverse the dangers of the astral sea. So there's that, which we can always go there that way, but it is the longest and the most dangerous way. The second method is having coordinates. Now, coordinates only work once because of the way that the weave interacts with planar jumping. If you have coordinates, unless it's a set location with set coordinates, which if it is, it operates kind of like having a focus. If you have a focus, you can travel to any plane in particular. That goes in here, and she points at the kind of glowing purple thing right in front of her. There's probably one on your ship too. And she's kind of explaining it to you because she's kind of like, she figured out that you're kind of a captain sort of, and is like, okay, here, and this is kind of like how all this works. So if you have a focus, you can go to the plane that the focus is. The control over where you end up on the plane is entirely dependent on like the pilot in the moment. And then lastly, there's planar streams. If you're in a planar stream, it allows you specifically to use that planar stream to travel to various planes that stream is attached to. So traveling across the astral sea to planes, to like these planar streams, and then using them to jump to various planes is generally how people get around. There's also using the Phlogiston. It's the slowest but the safest method.
It seems to me that this occasion calls for speed.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to get information on what's going on as soon as possible, then alert! Incoming vessels.
Oh no!
Well, that would be that, I guess. Y'all get ready. And she moves up towards the ship. As she sits down, she does let out a and aboard the nautiloid, Hakka, you have, there's a like, almost like a, not like piercing sensation, but you feel some sort of presence enter your mind. And you immediately kind of become aware of the surroundings of the ship. Like you were shown the outside of the ship. You were like given a visual of it. And you see two purple swirls starting to appear not that far away in astral space. And then the connection severs.
We got company.
As I am going to pull y'all to the space battle map.
Space battle!
Let's go to space!
Real quick, Vex is gonna, upon hearing we have company, is immediately going to go and re-obtain the goods, i.e. weapon and shield and helm that were left.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da.
Yeah, absolutely can do so.
Okay, great. Thanks.
As space battle, y'all have the stats for your ships. As these two warping portals appear, who would like to be on what ship? You two are parked next to each other. You guys have enough time to basically get onto whatever ship you'd like to be on.
Is the tardigrade battle ready?
I mean, this isn't like like it's just kind of calling down to you, platforms down.
Yeah,
this isn't like a battle vessel, but like we have a weapon, I can ram them. Also, if you have a payload, I can launch it at them, but we're not going to be able to hit both at once.
A payload?
Yeah, like if something that you use to hit, you know how like a catapult throws rocks? That's a payload.
Oh, okay.
I see.
Also, I can't see the stats of the homewrecker for some reason.
My bad. I might not have show to player edit. That's why I can be edited in control. There you go.
Can I get a fucking day?
Kazador will look to Marine. Do you have any idea what they are?
Those are nautiloid portals. Absolutely.
We are honor bound, no matter who hired us, to make sure Gek do not spread in this sector.
I suppose then.
I'm ready for battle, captains.
I
Sorry,
suppose
bud.
then it's too much to hope that this is a situation like ours.
Well, it depends. How often do nautiloids, are nautiloids captained by people from Toril?
Not very.
Then probably not.
Here's the thing. You've also only ever been seeing them one at a time. The fact that right after this didn't work, 2 get sent.
Oh, shit.
I suspect something is different about these. These are not rogue or stranded cake. This is targeted. Almost immediately upon our lack of destruction or destructive purpose, they arrive. I do not believe that is coincidence, captains.
Seems to
You're
me that
absolutely right.
someone is trying to tie up some loose ends.
Marina's gonna look down and she's gonna kind of lean. That's a force ballista. Okay, you two, get on their ship. I can handle piloting the tardigrade for now.
Understood, Captain. Good hunting.
She nods, and good luck. Have fun with that. And she points at the force ballista.
Welcome aboard the homewrecker.
Interesting name.
As the platform's raising up, Marina's going to call into the back, and she's going to yell, "All right, Mono, time to get the kinetic conversion going." And she's going to use the Tom's special ability once per short rest.
Tom.
As the engineer is going to get that going, I will take control of the nautiloid to assist. Y'all should be able to see everything you can do with your nautiloid.
I have a question.
Ooh.
Yes.
If you were to suddenly board one of these geich vessels, as you call them, which one of you do you think could do the most damage?
He kind of looks at you. Are you asking between Vex?
Between Vex and Xoruk, yes.
It depends. They know we're coming. They want an upright fight. Vex is better for that.
Vex, how good are you at
Yes?
causing distractions?
I have a better question for you, Captain. How far do you want them to fly?
Oh, they won't be the ones flying. You will.
Oh, will I?
Kazador looks over to the payload launcher.
Oh my god!
You know, you watch as her face literally turns into a big grin.
Instinctually, without looking at you, if you'll allow it, Vex, Hakka would cast Death Ward on you.
Amazing.
So Kazador looks over at Marine. They'll never see this coming. How confident are you?
I am.
How confident are you can land a payload shot?
With a nautiloid? Ooh, 75% chance.
Let's increase those odds.
While they're calculating this real quick, Xoruk will move over to Vex and kind of like motion for like a slight private aside.
Yep.
And with your permission, Sarah, he'll kind of like put his forehead to yours and kind of like mentally connect, as we've probably done a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Vex, that your mind is yours. No matter what that geek or geeks try to influence you, you are you. Your experiences, your life, your day, your very body is your vessel. And the soul and mind that hold it are yours and yours alone. Say it back. You are yours.
I am not. I am mine. And my oath is my oath. And you know me. I will not stray from my oath. We will guard the light, and we will make sure that whoever tries to snuff it out is snuffed out first.
He'll smile.
And good hunting, Vex Alibaster.
And he'll break the connection, kind of giving you a smile and a nod.
As the two of you, go ahead.
Was that telepathically said, or did you say that out loud?
That was telepathically said.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna perception that shit, but never mind.
As the two of you sort of part, and Vex being the only one to step aboard the tardigrade, Marine smiles at you and gives you kind of like a tip of the... she almost like as if there was a hat, she kind of gives a tip. Welcome aboard, payload.
You ready to do this?
Absolutely. If you survive this, I will have at least twice as much respect for you.
Kazador is going to go over to Vex and is going to cast Resilient Sphere.
Okay.
So you are now encased in a shimmering sphere of force. Nothing, not physical objects, energy, or spells can pass through this barrier.
Is it?
The
Oh
sphere?
my God.
The sphere is immune to all damage.
Oh my god.
And the creature inside cannot be damaged by attacks or effects originating from outside, nor can a creature inside the sphere damage anything outside of it.
Hell yeah. You load Vex into the payload, into this like front airlock, with it kind of primed and charged, with this, I assume, copper-colored sphere around. Around them.
It's like a. I told you in Session 0 how these the treasure planets sort of like shimmering holographic. This copper-colored.
Oh yeah, for the wings. Yeah.
These little chevrons just appear, guarding you.
As you get within the lock chamber, and kind of look back at the others, there's this kind of nod of respect from Marine. Marine's gonna look at Kazador as you're kind of the last, so you're about to board the ship and you're about to go back to the nautiloid. All right, I'm gonna try to fire at the one coming in on our right. You try to go after the one on the left.
Roger.
Good luck, Captain.
Who is Roger?
They both, Kazador and Marine both give kind of a smile at that. All right, and this is where I'm actually going to ask, do you want to do this now or next time?
I kind of want to do it now, but how are
I
you
also
feeling?
want to do it now.
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now.
All right, fuck it, let's go.
Zan, are you good?
I mean, yeah, the only one who has time
Yeah.
constraints right now, I think, is Connor. So it's up to Connor.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay,
yeah, let's
fire!
go.
Rising can wait.
All right, everyone, roll initiative.
Okay.
I'm going to give. I'm going
Don't
to
even
give
bother with
Vex.
Yeah.
I was going to
advantage
say,
on this.
Marine will use Vex's initiative
Okay.
for the sake of this.
Gotcha.
You said advantage?
Advantage, yes.
We're gonna go with that 18.
Nice. I use my battle tactician feat.
School fee.
It's cool.
All right, so that's an 18, a 12, a 10.
It's
18, 12, 10.
it's coming.
What are we waiting for? It is coming.
Oh, it's coming. Oh my god!
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
You got a plus 13 to your initiative?
Alert plus Gloomstalker.
I see.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Good gravy.
That's incredible.
Wait. Okay. That's actually going to be really handy because something I wasn't going to tell you until it kind of became relevant, but because I feel like you took this, I feel like it's very fun. One thing I will be doing is, while most things get initiative 10, and then their dex plus or minus, boss creatures, or like big story enemies, they get initiative 20.
Gotcha.
Oh shit.
So that will actually be very relevant at certain points. Amazing, Xoruk.
Holy shit. I'm just realizing you add your dex, your wisdom, and the alert feat.
Yep.
Oh my god. That's disgusting.
Xoruk, you are up first.
We were motioning towards the ballista on the nautiloid,
Yep.
the homewrecker, right? He's gonna rush towards one of the ballistas and get it ready to load.
All right.
Do we need 3 crew to operate it, or
No, if you actually read it specifically, we'll explain how that works. So crew
Takes one
3
charge to load it.
is
Oh,
kind
gotcha,
of-
so 3 actions.
is kind of what, yeah, exactly. So if you have 3 people on it, it can be fired every turn. But it takes 1 action to charge, 1 action to aim, meaning like a fighter could actually like action search, like
right? He's just gonna use a regular action as we seem pretty distant away, and is just gonna use his first turn to charge the ballista.
abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, can I... Or wait, no, it's not my turn yet.
Amazing, Xoruk. Then we're gonna get to Vex.
So am I in, or am I
You
going?
you are currently in the vessel. Is there anything you want to prepare spell-wise? Marine is using your initiative. Marine is going to, and I will make this available to my pilots. I will be adding crew actions as either as I come up with them and as they become relevant. If you guys say I want to do something, and I'm like, that's awesome, that's a new like ship action, I will add it to this list. But currently, I decided to only put in pilot actions for the sake of ease.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry. I'm
So it is totally fine. We will get. So you are currently in a resilient sphere within the
Okay.
airlock that is the payload
Yes.
launcher aboard the tardigrade.
yes.
Prepared to be fired when they arrive.
So my quick question is, for the purposes of this, when you're asking if I want to prepare something like a spell, are you asking in the sense of casting now and then essentially I go, or is this I'm holding my action until I get there? Just for clarification.
You can so it depends on you.
Okay.
They are coming imminently. If you want to cast something, if you want to hold to cast when you arrive, you can do that. If you have like a defensive spell that you want to prepare with right now, you could do that.
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I am going to making sure that I'm not going against. Yep. Nope. That's what we're gonna do. All right. So we're gonna start strong. We're gonna start off real strong. I'm gonna hold my action when I actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That makes the most sense. So I'm going to hold my action. And I realize that this is a bonus action, so let me know if this works.
No, totally fine. That's totally fine. Yep. I hate that fucking rule.
When I get there, I'm gonna cast Spirit Shroud.
Oh, mate, fuck yeah, perfect. Great. Love it. All right. Marine, on your turn, is going to use a pilot action to double the speed of Tom. I forgot to edit Tom's speed to 40. So let me do that.
That's one
really
fast
quickly.
tardigrade.
It is one fast tardigrade. This thing is souped the fuck up. I had fun writing the engineer for this.
Bears can run.
They actually can. They're fast.
So it's going to double the speed and it's going to get to move 80. So I'm going to go out here and out here as Marine is heading towards the portals coming in.
There you go.
Perfect. Hakka, you are up next.
All right. Can I help Xoruk with the ballista?
Well, there's 2 ballistas, right?
There are 2 ballistas. You can either help aim on the one that Xoruk is on, or you can go down and charge the other one. If you look on the nautiloid, it says ranged weapon attack +1. That is the best I could get it to work in roll 20. It is a ranged attack. I will allow you to either use a ranged weapon attack, like with your dex, or with your highest casting modifier, like a spell attack.
Okay.
So just to be aware of that.
Okay. I'll go to the other turret then.
Alrighty, you got it.
And I'll just get ready to open fire when we get close enough.
Perfect. Love it. You're gonna go over to the other turret. I'm gonna say, so you use your action to charge it currently. Because if you look at the thing, 1 action to charge, 1 action to aim, 1 action to fire. So you charge on this turn.
Yeah.
Perfect. It is now the nautiloids on this turn arrive. As they pull themselves through the portals. That's their turn. Kazador.
Let me see here.
Kazador, there's something weird about this vessel. As you're connected with it, you feel a connection with your arcane magic. And as you kind of almost like flex your magic a little bit, the ends of the tentacles flex with the same magic.
Oh shit.
This nautiloid was specifically used by an illithid arcanist who had arcane abilities, and furthermore had modified it to be able to cast spells. And I'm currently adding, as an action, a pilot of the nautiloid may cast a spell through the nautiloid's tentacles.
Oh fuck. That's so cool.
Just disintegrate people through a nautiloid.
That's hilarious.
Leah, I'm staring at you.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there like a spell equivalent of an immovable rod, or am I thinking of 3/5?
You're thinking of 3/5.
God damn it!
But maybe that's something I might give you all as a payload.
You impale something with an immovable rod?
Yeah, it gets stuck.
Good.
Yeah,
God,
exactly.
man.
You face the button on the end towards the thing, so as it hits, it clicks the button.
Oh, that is evil.
I was, yeah, yep.
I'm glad you see the vision.
Oh, no. Darn. I probably can't do that yet. Alright. I'm gonna get us into position here. I am going to take the nautiloid full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead, you got it.
Yeah, I'll get right there, I think.
That's
the one.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Hell
can't
yeah.
move the ship.
I got you what I move. Let me fix that for you. Done. Should be able to move it now.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, Kazador just full speed ahead, just takes this thing cruising towards these other nautiloids.
As the nautiloid just begins pulling towards the other ones. And we're going to come back to the top of initiative, Xoruk.
Xoruk is going to mentally focus and look at his target, kind of trying to recall where on a nautiloid ahead of him the control room could be. And he's going to just mentally fortify his mind and his sight towards that target as he takes the action to aim.
All right, you got it. Absolutely. You focus as the currents of energy begin to collect along the beam of the almost like baluster like end. And you look. These two nautiloids, they must have just been escaping from red dragons, like much like the one that like you're currently on. They were being attacked by Gith, like much like the others that you fought. They have some damage to them already. These are not in mint condition.
Okay.
Just as you're aiming, you notice.
Okay, that is Xoruk's go.
All right, perfect. Vex and Marine. Marine is going to actually get a chance to move before Vex in this specific moment as the engines begin to kick on, and you all watch as the kind of like walking legs of the tardigrade, which almost seem to like walk through space, just begin to fucking speed the fuck up as the engine finally kicks on, and it is they double the speed of the tardigrade for 10 minutes. To tardigrades moving at 80 right now. So it's just gonna fucking neume up right next to the nautiloid, and as it neumes up, she kind of like flies it in an arc, and you hear in the kind of front airlock, "All right, sweetheart, get ready!" And that is going to be... Ooh. Add something to that for reason. It comes down to this. Oh, just enough. She has a something casting guidance on her. So she does have an extra 3 on this. And she just makes it with a 15. I normally let y'all do it. I don't know why I did that there. We'll let y'all do it in the future. But fires Vex towards the pink one. You being Kazador being able to see out the nautiloid, see that happen, and you see it just... It is not a like perfect shot. It's not like the best shot in the world, instead of like crashing through the shell or anything, it actually crashes onto one of the front decks and like kind of embeds itself into the top deck. Kazador, at any time you can drop that, but that is currently what has happened.
Oh,
Vex, as you land, the spirit shroud erupts around you.
It absolutely does. What am I on the outside? Are we?
Yeah, you're on the top deck. It was not like the perfect shot. You didn't get like blasted through the shell or anything. You're not in the middle of the ship. You're not in the like ideal situation. You're like kind of on the top deck. Kazador, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, cool.
So first things first. Are there weapons up here?
There are two. They're not in the same spaces. It's like one top flat deck that's like larger, and then a bottom deck that doesn't really have anything on it. Like it has like a bunch of like equipment on it.
Sure.
And on the top deck there are like on either side, so it's spaced differently. But yeah, there are two ballista up there.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do then, because it's been made abundantly clear that they're here to attack. I want to start taking out their resources. So I'm going to, utilizing my hammer's, shall we say, special ability, I'm going to throw it.
Kazador, see on the deck Vex wheel like winding up to throw with the barrier.
Oh Jesus!
Oh shit!
Do you drop it or do you?
Oh yes, I do drop it.
Yeah, in that mode, because you can drop concentration any time. Right as you're about to throw it, the shimmering copper barrier around you disappears, and the weapon just arcs through the air, crashing into one of the ballistae. Deal damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dealing a couple different d8s. I'll tell you what is what. So we're gonna start first with that bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Then we're gonna add on the additional force damage that I get as a result of this. Now, for my sake, for pedantic's sake, would you say that this weapon is giant?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So that's 2d8, and then we get an additional. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and click the spell for the sake of, honesty's sake. However, I believe that should be, actually I will not, because apparently I coded it wrong, but that's okay. That is an additional d8, and for this sake, I'm going to say that it is radiant.
You got it. So that's 31 points damage. It arcs through the air, crashes into it. It like breaks one of the like sides on it, and it kind of tilts and crashes to the side. It's still operational, but like it's fucked up.
Yeah. And that's action and bonus action.
Action, bonus action.
Da-da-da.
Do you not have extra attack?
I'm a paladin.
As a paladin 5th level, you get extra attack.
Oh.
Yep.
Another one.
Another one.
As the hammer comes whoosh, back into your hand.
Comes right back. We're gonna do it again. Second time.
I'll fucking do it again.
I'll fucking do it again.
12 this time.
12 this time. Don't forget about your hero points. A 12 would miss though.
That's okay. I understand about the hero points thing, but I think for the purposes of what I'm trying to accomplish, that's okay. I will take the 12.
Wreak havoc.
The 12. All right. You throw, and it actually just like there's this like big metal plate on the side of it that's like part of the part that's protecting and like channeling the energy. And you aim at that, and if you had hit it dead on, it might have done something. But it's a glancing blow, and it leaves a dent in it, like a dung. It flies back to you, but not quite the like blow you wanted.
That's okay. They asked me to be a distraction, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna be really distracting.
The like other people on the other ballista absolutely are no longer on the ballista. They're all like turning towards you, in various states of illithidification. A word I never thought I'd make up. as they all like turn towards you, some of the more brave ones begin to like rush towards you. Some of the others are like stalk on the outside, kind of unsure. And as you have activated a horde,
Yeah.
Vex and hordes, Hakka, it is your turn.
Who shot the car? Okay, that reference was just for me.
I got it.
Yeah. I charged this laser thingy. Can I shoot it?
So you charged it. You need to aim it, or you can run up and steal Xoruk's shot.
That would. Would Xoruk get mad about that?
I mean, Xoruk might. Zan wouldn't, but Xoruk's like trying to maintain like focus and practice and readiness.
Would Hakka genuinely?
I would aim it. I would.
Yep.
Hakka's focused on what he's doing. I would aim.
Yeah, and you're quickly realizing why getting crew might be helpful.
Yeah.
As you're kind of like, you have to like get out of the aim spot and kind of like crank it a little bit and like move it up and down as you're trying to aim it correctly. But that is an action.
I'd like to imagine there's a moment where Hakka like is cranking it and is like, oh yeah, it's going up. Wait, why is it going down? Oh my god, it's reversed.
God damn it.
Yeah, just like
Never happened
trying
to
to
my
figure
crank.
this out. I don't really have any bonus action stuff, and this is saving me spell slots. So
The nautiloid's turn.
Yeah.
Both nautiloid pilots are going to take evasive action. They're going to move and take evasive action. And this one's going to move this way as they kind of split from each other, like go in different directions. And they both take evasive action. This one is actually going to get a chance to fire towards your ship. It has one of its ballistas facing that direction. And it has enough crew to be able to do it. So that is going to be an attack roll on my end. Ooh, that's a 5 + 6 for an 11. This force blast just kind of... these are just thralls kind of aiming it and just kind of like doing it as quickly as possible. And it arcs off the shell. That is the nautiloid's turn. The other one does not have any weapons at the... going on. It will actually take... it had one already charged up and aimed. One of them will take a pot shot at the fucking tardigrade and see what's
No!
Oh shit, that's a 19.
No!
These are
Tom.
not... these are not force ballistas. These are old school ballistas. You're actually...
Zan's got an ability.
No, please. Sorry, tardigrade's getting hit, but we'll see if it actually does anything. Because this tardigrade's it's charged up right now, so it has a really high damage threshold. So that's 2, 6 for 8, plus 13, 18. Actually, doesn't even meet its normal damage threshold. So it fires and it hits the like side of the tardigrade, but you notice as it impacts, like fucking rubber, it ripples across the entire creature, and then like the impact just stops dead, as if all the kinetic energy was just drained out. And that is the nautiloid's turn. Kazador.
All right. It's gonna get fucky. I'm going to... Oh, yeah. So what direction are the guns facing on this? The Force Ballistae?
Your Force Ballistae, because of the way your ship is laid out, as long as they facing forward towards them, you will be able to hit them because they can kind of turn. Whereas the Ballistae on these ships are like one on either side.
All right, so we're sort of just facing this one at the moment, then?
Correct. And you can turn your vehicle if you'd like. Right now, you are currently... and it is just like the normal map, but it's just miniaturized. But you're facing this direction right now. You can change that at any time. You can just whoop.
Gotcha. I will take us just over here for the time being.
Alrighty.
We'll go ahead and... yeah, I'll use my action to enter firing position.
Hell yeah.
I'll give all of our force ballistas advantage.
Hell yeah.
Also,
I'm glad you like it.
As Kazador is sort of like manning these controls with like his energy and his mind, he closes his eyes, and just this almost rhythmic ticking will begin to echo throughout the entirety of the ship, building to a crescendo as this copper-colored magic is literally crackling off of Kazador and into the ship, coming down to the two massive tentacles. And signing the components and pumping magic into it, I'm going to spend... I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points to quicken a spell, and then 8 sorcery points to twin that spell.
Okay.
Alrighty.
As I twin cast Summon Construct on both ships.
Oh my god. The two tentacles, like, they almost, like, move together, and they crackle, and this coppery light, just this coppery sphere, this huge coppery sphere appears, and then they pull apart, and it pulls 2 from it, like mitosis, splitting into 2. And it lobs these 2 spheres towards the 2 ones, which kind of arc through the air. And as they land, there's this flash of copper energy. As what constructs do you summon?
They are clay constructs.
As 2 massive clay constructs, just
they look exactly like shield golems.
Amazing. As they kind of look around, and the one on the go ahead and roll some attacks just to see what kind of nonsense madness they cause.
Let me see here. So the constructs have I believe I'm essentially spending 2 spell slots for this as well.
You got it.
Just looking at how twinning is working.
No, it's 1 spell slot, actually.
1 spell slot, but a number of spell points equal to the spell's level. Oh, okay,
Yep.
Gotcha. I'm only spending
Yep,
4 in that case.
Nice.
Um,
Plus whatever it is to quicken, so 6 total, I think.
yeah, 6 total. It's a 4th level spell, so they each get... they each get 2 slam attacks, so...
Alright, roll some slam attacks.
Alright, here we go. First one is a... it is 18 plus...
18 already hits, roll some damage.
Oh, plus my spell attack modifier, right.
Yeah, 18 already hits, so roll some damage.
That is going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage on the first one.
Alrighty.
Second attack. We'll see. Let me... I'm suddenly having to open a bunch of sheets now. That is... that's another 18.
It's another 18, absolutely.
Spell attack is plus 13, so it's another... Yep. It's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Amazing, amazing.
Next golem. 15?
15? 15 just hits.
Okay. That is 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
14 points of bludgeoning damage.
And one more for Ginny and the Wimp. That's hit. That's 27 to hit.
Yep.
For 9 bludgeoning.
Well, that's actually okay. So on the first one is lobbed towards the north, and just begins wreaking. They're immediately put in the middle of a group of enemies, and just 2 of them, poof, poof, with one swing. It swings again, poof, poof, another 2 go flying off the deck of the ship, limp. On the other side, it lands near where the sphere lands, and the others are kind of like all almost like crowding around Vex now as this construct lands. Looks around, the closest thing to it is the turret, raises both fists, and finishes off the turret for you, Vex. Just smashes it into bits and looks around.
Just this miniature shield golem.
As your golems begin to wreak havoc aboard the ship.
Excellent, that's my turn.
Xoruk, you're up.
Xoruk, kind of closing his eyes after aiming, is going to take a deep breath out and cast Zephyr Strike on himself. To do an additional 1d8 force damage, so I guess my max damage on 8. Nice. If he hits, he'll do additional damage. That much.
You have advantage.
Advantage.
You don't see Zephyr Strike a lot.
I love the spell.
It's pretty good.
Oh, 11 plus... Oh, I could just click the Ballista. That's fine.
Oh, no, it's because the Ballista only has a +1, and that's what it adds to your ranged attack.
Got it. So is it proficiency bonus plus?
Yep, proficiency bonus plus either ranged or your casting stat.
So proficiency bonus plus dexterity in this case?
Yep.
So that would be 11. So that is a 22 to hit.
You've been on Spelljammers before. You absolutely know how to fire a ballista as you fire, and you said you were aiming specifically towards like one of the generators to shut it down. I'm actually going to take away your disadvantage, but it doesn't matter for the sake of the roll to 10, as you still hit with a called shot.
Okay. And if that is the case, it is say 5d8 plus I'll add the +8 from the Zephyr Strike. 36 damage.
36 points of damage, which absolutely bypasses 15 damage threshold. Because you damaged a critical section, roll me a d6. See what kind of failure happens to the ship.
6.
If the ship goes inert, just seems to drift to a stop.
He'll then open his eyes, and rather than take pride in the damage done, he will immediately narratively move to grab another ballista, and that will be his turn.
Alrighty. As you begin to, you're starting to charge it up again, steam is coming off of the metal rod that fired the energy bolt. And we're gonna get to Vex's turn.
Alright, so you said that there's another horde?
Yeah, the horde that was on the top deck that was firing stuff, they are they have retreated from the golem towards you.
We're gonna start with a good old fashioned hammer.
You got it.
Give him the stick.
Oh! Oh, Leah, what is it with paladins in your campaigns?
I don't know.
So that's a natural 30 to hit.
Power of the Leah channels through fucking Bitch.
Oath of Leah.
So
Oath of Leah. You get
do
20s.
Do you do double dice or do you do
Double
take
dice.
the okay.
Oh.
Damn.
And then, because everything's still active, and now with clarification, this is on the horde.
This is
not
on the
the
horde,
ballista.
so you don't get your you don't get the giant.
I get the 1 extra force damage.
But you do get the 1 extra force damage, which doubles to another D. So that's additional 8. So you're currently at 25 plus 8 for 33.
And then we also get, now here's my question, does Spirit Shroud also get doubled?
That is already doubling, because Spirit Shroud was the D8, because isn't it 1d8 as Spirit Shroud?
So there's a D8 of force damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that so that's the first D8 unless I'm doing this wrong.
Oh, okay. I forgot about the D8 of force damage.
So
that just happens naturally. Got it. Yeah.
The first two rolls here are that force damage.
That's force damage. Got it. So that's 33. So yes, you get 2.
So then here's your 2 Spirit Shroud.
All right. So you're currently at 33, I believe. Yeah.
That's
25,
46.
28, 33, 46.
Yeah.
Which gets rid of 9 of them, which was the entire horde. So they come up and you see them like they're kind of rushing towards, and you see them kind of rushing towards you, and you bring up the shield like a bulwark, and you actually like bully them into a guardrail, like as a group. They're all kind of like stacking on each other, hop backwards, and as you're hopping backwards, you toss the hammer, and it's an explosion of viscera as it just hits center mass.
I would like to also point out, just for the sake of flavor, that my Spirit Shroud, because it is like radiant, again, it's that green and gold sort of glow that it's very similar to what y'all saw earlier. So I like to imagine there's like a light show, right? There's a bit of a light show happening as it collides with the horde.
Yep, absolutely. There's just this y'all see this flash green and gold on the other ship as and like flecks of red.
That's
you have a second attack.
Yeah, I do.
There's nothing out here.
Yeah, I noticed, except for that other ballista.
There's the other ballista if you want to just keep going after fucking ship.
I feel like, for the sake of things, that is a wise move, just in case.
Just in case.
And if nothing else, a show of intimidation.
With no threat, you can walk up and just smash a crit with your second attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing threatening you. You're not trying to like aim pressure. You walk up and you just smash the center like aiming console.
Except I would love to throw it because I do more damage. I have this mental image of, instead of walking up, Vex just like looking over at it, looking at the hammer, and then just chucking it like it's nothing.
Just comes back.
Would you like me to still roll?
No, totally fine. For the sake, because you're not under pressure, totally good.
Sure.
Which is going to get us to Marine's turn. Marine is at ramming speed right now, so Marine is going to go directly into the back end of this fucking nautiloid and keep it pinned. So she's actually going to come up here, over here, and then down here, and latch onto it that way. So she's going to make a piloting check. Would anyone like to roll a piloting check for her?
What is it? Just a D20?
Yep, D20 plus 8. And then she also has Bless for some reason.
Do it.
D20 plus 8. A 13.
Plus.
15.
That is 15 is the armor class of a nautiloid. As it drills into the side, because you rolled it, you get to roll me the Tom's grappling jaw damage, which is 5d10 piercing.
5d10. Is it plus anything or no?
Nope, just 5d10 piercing.
Habushki! Oh my god, terrible, but hey,
15. That is the damage threshold, so that does get through, which means it bores into the ship as Marine has made contact with the ship. This is just for the audience. You all see Marine go, fine, time to get my hands dirty. Pulls a fucking laser rifle off her back and begins way toward the fucking blast door.
Oh god.
And that's where we cut from her. It is now Hakka's turn.
Alrighty. Can I fire?
Yep, absolutely. Which one are you firing at?
This one Vex is fucking up, right?
No. The one that Vex is fucking up is the same one that Marine is attached to. This is what that ship's going after.
Hakka does look over and sees Vex completely dismantle a turret and just like, they're fine. I shoot at this one.
You have you can make a called shot, straight roll, or you have advantage and can attack and to just hit the ship.
I'll do advantage.
Alrighty.
D20 plus my spell thing.
Yep. Plus your spellcasting modifier +1 because these are enchanted force ballistas.
So mine's usually 10, but I will put it at an 11. 30. How's that?
Yeah, that hits. So this is 5d10 force or 5d8 force damage.
Let's do it. Big whammy. Big whammy. 28 force damage.
Big whammy. As it shatters a section of the hull. This the ship was already complete. It was considered helpless because of the 6. So any other damage to it that passed its threshold meant another. So roll me a d6 to see what failure happens this time.
Oh boy, a 5.
Oh my god! Yeah, there's another explosion on the other side of the ship as another critical function of the ship is flawed.
Also, observing this thing get damaged would. Spells that target creatures, would they affect?
You think they might, yeah.
Okay. Hakka raises an eyebrow.
And actually, you're looking at the Force Ballista, and it is magically powered. There might be a way to channel spells through it.
Yeah, this is Hakka organically learning, like...
Yep. Yep, as y'all have an arcane nautiloid. We are going to pop up to the top of the turn with Xoruk. However, I am going to say, because both nautiloids are currently disabled, I'm going to let y'all describe what y'all do to dismantle these vessels.
Xoruk taking...
Yeah.
Xoruk taking another breath in... will release Zephyr, the Zephyr strike spell, take another deep breath in, and then cast it again on himself to launch another bolt through the central shell or kind of spine of the nautiloid to keep it basically, to make it so that even if they get the power back on, it can't move, basically removing the center mast.
Before you go, really quickly, Kazador, I'm sorry I skipped you. You have a turn after the nautiloids do nothing.
I think Kazador would maintain firing position, but wouldn't do much else. Right now, he's just going to be focusing on, being aware of the situation, being ready to flee if the need be, but right now it's looking like they have the upper hand here. He's just letting his golems just wreak havoc on this ship.
Alrighty. Roll me your attacks for the golems while this is all happening.
Alrighty. That is a 19.
19 hits.
12 bludgeoning.
12 bludgeoning.
17.
17 hits.
16 bludgeoning.
16 bludgeoning.
29.
Yeah.
14 bludgeoning.
14
And natural
bludgeoning.
20.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh no.
For 13 bludgeoning.
For 13 bludgeoning, got it. You look over at one vessel, and the like construct has made its way over to the other side of the deck, and it's kind of like ignoring a lot of the creatures, and is just starting to dismantle the fucking ballista on that ship, so it can't even return fire on you all. On the other ship, you all watch as that one like kind of kneels down on the deck and shoves its fist through the deck and begins tearing up material. Xoruk, finish your shot.
You still want me to roll damage?
You still roll attack roll, yep.
Okay.
With advantage. With advantage.
Well, Zephyr Strike gives me advantage if I choose.
Well,
Actually, you know
I've
what?
also got the ship in firing position. With that gives you advantage, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
fair
gives
enough.
you advantage. Yep.
Let's see. I can just click on the thing, which I will try to do that this time.
Also, I believe
it's
Zephyr
got-
Strike just stays until you use the advantage, so you can just keep doing it.
I used it last time, so
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't do the
one
damage,
roll.
yeah.
Yeah. So I let go and then cast it again just to be safe. Oh my goodness. Oh right, this doesn't count my plus
Nope.
10 to, so it would be 23.
23 hits.
All right. Let me type this out again. 38 damage.
Another explosion comes to that nautiloid, and you watch as a very sure sign that there's no longer psionic control over the ship, the nautiloid's tentacles begin to droop as that ship is finished off.
He'll take a breath out and not load the next one. He's pretty certain that the rest of the two ships can handle the last one. But that's Xoruk's go.
Coming to Marine and Vex, the two of you meet in the center of the ship, like blood covered after wading through enemies. Marine is just kind of walking forward. She has the like laser rifle over one shoulder, and she's holding like what kind of looks like an arcane musket. Or not arcane musket, arcane like flintlock. As she's kind of striding towards you. Hey, how you doing, payload?
I would say very, very well. And there's this like big smile, just big cheery smile as the entire deck is like dented and there's viscera everywhere. There's probably a couple heads that went rolling.
Mm-hmm. As Marine looks, this is probably where the idiot controlling the ship is. You ready?
Let's do it.
As the two of you kick open kick the fucking thing, and it just opens up boring inwards. Not even gonna give that fucking illithid a scene. Like, it's just the two of it. We watch as Vex and Marine go in, and then we pan out to the outside of the ship, and we just watch the tentacles droop.
All in a day's work.
And as a blood-covered, tired, but ultimately victorious over the surprise double nautiloid, the tardigrade makes its way back over to Tom. And as it docks aboard the nautiloid's hangar, as it docks within the nautiloid's hangar, that is where we're going to leave the session for today.
Hell yeah.
Hot damn.
Hell yeah.
Good golly.
Oh my god. I love this. I love this.
Got to do horde combat, got to do space combat, really showing you what the campaign's going.
Hell yeah.
I'm so happy. Oh my god.
Space.
Oh my fucking god.
It's not going to be all combat. I know we want a lot of stuff.
I know.
I thought this was a really fun intro to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, let me pause the Starforged fray.
Yeah.
I was looking at the I was looking at the spells in my staff, and I was like, I'm so glad the fucking payload launcher thing worked out. Oh shit, hang on.
This is so unreal. I'm having a blast. Oh my god.
Thank y'all for hanging out and enjoying
Yeah.
the game.
Everyone, thanks for stopping by and for watching. This is the big kickoff of a brand new campaign. Hopefully you'll stick around for some time to come as we delve into this story that Leah has set up for us. But for now, I think that's what we're going to call things for the evening. So let's go around once again, introduce ourselves, and tell people what we'll be doing. Starting with XanillisGrimm.
Hi, that's me. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/XanillisGrimm. Almost immediately after this, we're going to be doing some Helldivers. We're trying to push the squids off of Earth. Tomorrow, you can catch me over twitch.tv/TheUnexpectables at 6 p.m. PST, where this lovely gentleman known as Connor McGinley will be running Gateway, and I'm part of that. Then Sunday, twitch.tv/BurnoutVon at around 2 p.m. PST. You can catch myself and Saris, as Saris runs Those Who Wander, another D&D campaign set in the Domains of Dread. And then Monday, twitch.tv/AnillisGrimm, 7 p.m. PST. We got some more Stalwart Souls from the D&D game I run. And then twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 1 p.m. PST on Tuesdays for some Vecna Eve of Ruin, also run by Connor. And then twitch.tv/MontyGlue at 7 p.m. PST for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And then hopefully back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week. And that's me.
Excellent. Up next, we've got TheropodArt.
That's me. Hi, hello. What y'all doing? Y'all know where to find me. TheropodArt, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Twitch. It's all going on. Commissions are open. I'll draw almost anything you want for the right amount of cash. I got a subathon going. I might stream tonight, might not. I don't know what I'm doing. I have to go eat dinner. I'm very hungry and out of it right now.
Yum yum dinner.
Yeah, but that's me.
I can
All
go
right.
next.
Yeah.
Y'all, you can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. Tomorrow, I will be on Burnout Vaughn's channel. We're going to be playing more of the Devil. And then on Sunday again, and we are not going to forget that we also have Leah joining Zan and myself in Those Who Wander, again on Burnout Vaughn's channel. And then on Monday, we're going to be back in the world of Off with the fan game A New Home. We're going to be figuring out how the game deviates from the original. And that's over at Skeleton Alpha's channel. Yeah, that's me.
Alrighty. And
Hello.
we couldn't do this without our wonderful DM, Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah, Amusing Thalia. I am the DM for this game, and I have very much enjoyed having my lovely players here for a wonderful session 1 I'm looking forward to many future sessions, and I can be found on my channel Mondays and Tuesdays pretty consistently those days. And other than that, I can be found annoying other people on their channels, like Burnout Vons on Sundays. If you want to check out different TTRPG stuff, go watch Eve of Ruin. But I also run a thing on Monday. Connor.
I forgot. I'm on Eve of Ruin too. I play the big booby lady.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's me. I keep forgetting people's names. I do this with so many different groups now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, who's this?
Oh, wait,
Which
introductions
group of people?
again.
I mean, you already know what it is. Shortly
Know what it is,
after
what it
we
do.
wrap here, I'm going to be booting up a V Rising, so we're going to be doing some vampire shenanigans later tonight. But yes. Yeah, oh my goodness. Wonderful first session. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you stick around for the many more to come. But before we get to all that, we got to thank all the wonderful people that make this possible. First and foremost, if you feel the power of hair follicles coursing through your face, then head on over to beardsorcery.com. You can use the code DistortionDevil to save 10% on your order when you shop for all sorts of different beard care products, oils, balms, combs, clippers, shampoo, conditioner, all of that jazz. Go to beardsorcery.com. As well, check out Bones Coffee Company. Bones Coffee Company is fantastic if you enjoy fine gourmet coffees with all sorts of fantastic flavors, or even if you're a standard coffee fan, they've got all sorts of different options from all around the world. Go to bonescoffee.com, use code DistortionDevil, you can save 10% on that as well. And of course, we could not do this week in, week out without bits and subs from viewers like you.
Bits and chops
From viewers like you.
And I say,
like
hey,
you.
Mythical Things, thank you for the 500 bits. Let's go Space Adventures. Time War, some stars, and Trek, some stars. That's right.
Maybe some War in the Stars.
Zenlita, thank you for the 100 bits. Biomass added to ship stores. When the fucking Gith Yankee.
Yeah.
I can't believe we gotta feed our ship. I did
It's
not.
true.
This responsibility.
We gotta feed the
is
ship.
This is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
We're
I mean,
supposed-
you adopted a ship. You have to feed it properly.
It's true. And finally, War Criminal 239, thank you for the 31 bits. Let's go. And with that, I suppose we're going to have to find someone to raid.
I have a suggestion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Brachiozoid is doing some art.
Oh, my goodness. Bracky.
Let's get him.
Our raid message will be, nautiloid down.
Nautiloid down. It's like Black Hawk down.
It's true.
Nautiloid down.
It's like Watership Down.
I wonder if the distress beacons got activated. But regardless, thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you all have a fantastic start of your weekend. And tune in here in just a little bit as I'll be restarting the stream for some V Rising. But for now, have a goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye!